Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs have been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big un. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards, so do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows, but as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Morning all, you are listening to the world's biggest sports radio station. It's talkSPORT. My name is Max Rushden, alongside me Barry Glendenning until 1:30. The OG warm-up. How are you, Barry?
I'm very well, thank you, Max. I'm high on the Premier League opening weekend and all the delights and disappointments it has brought. Yeah. I'm already out of my WhatsApp group last man standing competition.
Right.
Sunderland lost.
They did, yeah.
And but Spurs are the gift, Max, that just keep on giving.
Minister Paul says, morning Max and Barry. In yesterday's show, Max, you had a Spurs podcaster, Theo Delaney, eulogising about how Tonali was on the same level as Rodri and Rice. I think the art of great comedy is timing. Yeah, do you know, because the Zerbies sort of said that we weren't ready. We're not ready. And they didn't do anything. I wonder if, could we adopt the same approach for today's programme? Could we do absolutely nothing? Could we do nothing and just, that's fine. We just go, we're just not ready.
Yeah.
We did the World Cup.
We're not fit enough.
Yeah, we've come back from the World Cup. We're just not ready yet to do this.
Because we were there for the whole World Cup.
Longer than any of those
Most
players.
of those players.
Yeah.
So I think like Andy Robertson, he was only there for a fortnight.
Yeah.
I was there for 7 weeks.
Exactly. So if anything, we should just be able to kick back.
You won't hear me complaining
No, well, the whole idea
about how difficult it is to sit on a chair and talk for 2.5 hours.
we're not in the right physical condition to compete with other radio shows
No,
on at this time.
absolutely not.
There's nothing we can do. So if we don't deliver today, it's not our fault because there's nothing we can do. And even if you were to bring in, like, on paper, a better presenter for £100 million, because it's Spurs, they'll still be awful. Now, look, we'll get to them, of course, in the Premier League review, but Gaz, the Wolves fan from Telford, has been in touch.
Big friend of the show.
Big friend of the show, yeah. Maybe obsessive friend of the show, who could say.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Hi, Max. Gaz, the Wolves fan from Telford. Just to let you know, I won't be able to listen today,
Oh, dear.
as my girlfriend, Mrs. Gaz, has banned me from listening due to arriving home, let's say, a little tipsy after travelling away to watch Wolves play Preston. I don't know how long the ban will last for. I will try and listen to the show on repeat, but I won't be able to listen live. Can you give any reasons to Mrs. Gaz to lift the ban and tell her I'm sorry? I will learn from this and I'll approach the next game with much better tactics. That does presuppose that not only is he banned from listening, because if he's asking us to give her reasons, we then presume that she is listening.
So he's like in a Mr. and Mrs. style booth, listening to music on headphones.
Family Fortunes soundproof booth, while Mrs. Gaz gets to listen to see if we give reasons. Sort of.
Well, there's a lot to unpick here.
There is, yeah.
The punishment doesn't feel commensurate with the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is listening to us such a big reward?
That's what I like to think.
That
this is his favourite thing, and so to take this away from him,
would it not be more appropriate for him to be banned, like to receive a match ban, like so he's not allowed to go to Wolves' next game?
Yeah,
or a 2-match ban, depending on
what he did,
how squiffy he was when he got home and how late it was.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that seems.
I mean, Wolves won comfortably, so no doubt he had to celebrate, because Wolves fans haven't had a great deal to celebrate.
No, they haven't
in recent times.
But we don't know the condition that he returned home in.
Well, I'm guessing he was
wasted,
drunk, loud, inconsiderate. Probably woke up Mrs. Gaz, and cold feet or something. He was just snoring.
Do you think the band came in straight away? At that moment, he came in and she was so angry. She said, "Right, no warm up for you tomorrow." That's strange.
Like, I feel I'm being punished and you're being punished because we need all the listeners.
We absolutely do.
We can get.
For us to lose one listener.
Particularly our most obsessive one.
Exactly. We get a lot of content out of them. Without Gaz, what will we do when we desperately need someone?
Like, what if Paddy the Villa fan came home drunk last night and he's also...
Well, Patrick, I don't think this is Paddy the Villa fan, but maybe. He says, "Morning, Max and Barry. Currently fishing in Chorley. Not caught a thing in 3 hours. Is it too early to crack a Stella open?" There's sort of either end of the spectrum that we have here. Now, I think you should wait till midday, to be honest, Patrick.
I say go for it.
Okay, fine. It's up to you, Patrick.
I think drinking... I'm not an angler. I used to fish when I was a kid a bit.
What's the biggest fish you've caught?
It would have been about a 3-pound rainbow trout.
I mean, it means absolutely nothing to me. Congratulations.
A kilo.
A kilo of
fish. A kilo and a bit of rainbow trout.
Okay, very well done.
In the River Camcor in Burr.
Okay.
And back in those days, you didn't have to throw them back.
You just ate them.
You just brought it home.
I see.
Mammy Glendenning cooked it for the dinner.
Right. And did she do a good job of it?
She did, yeah. I mean, I think I did most of the work.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. The hunter, who knew you were a hunter-gatherer?
Exactly.
I didn't have you down.
I felt very manly. I think the only time I've ever felt more manly is when I successfully fixed a problem with the cistern of my toilet by watching a YouTube video.
Yeah, I was going to say the most I've felt is fixing the toilet seat.
Right.
Which goes jaunty after a few months of the whole family sitting on it.
Right. Because it's different weights and stuff.
Yeah, probably different styles.
Yeah.
Different weights, different styles. There's me, Mrs. Rushden, and there's young Ian.
Yeah.
Willie yet to really get involved in that part of the house. But I'm happy to take When did you feel...
Once young Willie gets involved, you have to get the ratchet set out again.
Of course. Yeah. So the most manly you've ever felt. We're happy to take that. Yeah. So catching a fish.
Catching a fish,
yeah,
which served as a family dinner, and fixing...
Getting into the cistern is that is a step ahead to just the seat.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very proud of you. Matthew says, I thought you already did nothing on this show. Lots have come in. Wow. Yeah, I thought you already did nothing on this show. I'm shocked to learn that up to this point you've been performing at optimum level. This is the first time I've seen Barry live, says Chris. We were not. He says you're telling Porkies when he said he ran a marathon. He ran a half marathon. He did it. He raised a lot of money for charity. Ben says I love a bit of Barry and Max on a Sunday. Matt says my missus is mad at me and is forcing me to listen to the show. That's a punishment. Yes, Mrs. Gaz should realise listening to this show is actually a form of penance, says Jerry, and none of us really know why we listen. Mark the Wolves says I came back absolutely slaughtered last night. Can Mrs. Gaz ban me too, please? Yes, Ryan, that's funny because when I annoy my wife, she punishes me by making me listen to this show. I stand with Gaz, says Lloyd in London. Anyway, look, thanks everybody. It's very kind of you. What does this one say? If my missus banned me from talkSPORT, she wouldn't keep the ban for long. Two can play at that game. I feel like I should check that one for the what's it called, the Urban Dictionary, before I get talking about beef Wellington. I'm not sure if that's probably okay.
Yeah, I think so.
It's beef Wellington confirmed. VAR says it's all right. Well, I'll check it first and read it properly. I'm also banned from the warm-up because my wife finds you both, quote, super annoying, says Tony, listening in secret in the garage. Okay, well that's good. I mean, we'll happily do that. Are you forced to go to the garage? Are you forced to listen to this in secret?
Do you go down to the allotment every Sunday?
Are we your dirty secret? We'll take this. I don't think Sean and Henry did that text topic with Darren Ferguson, but yeah, are we your dirty secret? And also the most manly you've ever felt. Can it beat getting into the system? I mean, obviously, if you're a plumber, that's a different thing, right? But Barry is not a plumber.
No, I'm not. I'm really not handy at all. No, I'm pathetic when it comes to DIY.
I mean, the sense of achievement when that toilet seat is straight. I have to say, I walk away thinking, like anything professionally. If I've achieved anything professionally, I'm not sure, but that trumps all of it. Anyway, this says, hi Max and Barry, it's Cameron here, Liverpool fan. We need to get the BBC to resurrect Kill It, Cook It, Eat It and get Barry on. 8:10:89, please. At Max Rushden, Mark says, was that the toilet that fell off the wall? No, different toilet. I had to get had to get a man round, had to get Arthur around to fix that one. 8:10:89 at Max Rushden. This is all brought to you with Travis Perkins. Go big on landscaping with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need at travisperkins.co.uk. Premier League review after the break.
Spurs fans will be on salty crook. You're still bitter from the Europa League final. I just think they've overspent Tottenham. I think they've gone a bit mad in the market.
Talking of which, hello, Kate.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Kate.
Oh, we've missed you, Kate. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Good to speak to you, Sam.
Nice to speak to you.
What about me and Crookie, Kate?
Oh, Gabby, it's not fair. Nothing's fair. It's not fair.
That's a good accent, that is.
I have never heard in all my years of being a Tottenham fan such salty, crying, pathetic whining from Villa fans as I have at this moment. Your owners, Gabby, have got the opportunity to do what Tottenham have done. Why not build a big stadium? You've got, I think, as far as I know, you've got a piece of kind of parkland near Villa Park.
I like the heritage that Villa Park has got. To be honest.
Well, you can't have your cake
then
and
you're
eat
never going to be a big club. You can't have it all, Gabby.
I think Villa are a bigger club than Spurs. Come on, let's not get silly now.
I'm just laughing at you. You're so funny. We finished 17th and we made 187 million more revenue overall than you in 24-25.
That's because Beyonce loves to come to the Spurs Stadium for gigs.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how you make the money. It's about making the money.
I love Beyonce to come to the park.
Aston Villa, by the way, did a load of concerts to try and raise revenue themselves. They did that, actually, over the course of the last couple of years, which is great for them.
I agree.
But they do need to invest in the infrastructure.
This is literally Premier League football drama at its absolute best.
Oh
my Gabrielle!
I can't watch this. Definitely saw it then.
Messi!
No!
Guys! Come on! Get in it!
What was that?
You see this crap every single game in the Premier League.
Oh, this is...
No goal.
That was embarrassing.
Slater to hit it in towards the near post, and it's headed in, and they've scored again. Noble Mendy guiding the ball past Lommans to make it 2-0 to Hull City. And just when you thought your day couldn't get any worse, the trains back to Manchester have been cancelled.
And it could well be game over here. It's Everton 2, Crystal Palace 0. It's Tierno Barry who's got it.
Nottingham Forest 0, Leeds United 1. Anton Stack with a free kick from the left-hand corner of the penalty area at the Bridgeford end in front of jubilant Leeds United fans.
Jack Clark shoots! And the former Sunderland player has come off the bench to potentially win it for Ipswich.
I think this is probably just about game over as far as Tottenham are concerned this afternoon. It's a corner from the far side of the pitch, which is nodded down, and there was number 33, Michael Kayode, to poke the ball into the back of that. Spurs fans will wonder quite what the new revolution is and when it will start. It finished here, Brentford 3, Spurs 0.
That's how the Premier League sounded yesterday. Top 3 manly moments, says this text. Number 1, open jar of cranberry sauce for brother-in-law over Christmas dinner. 2, showed colleague how to change the plug on the office kettle. 3, gave directions to a lorry driver.
Ooh.
Really, that's great stuff. 10 years ago, I changed the temperature cartridge in my shower, and I still think that's the most manly thing I've ever done. John on his way to see Brighton. Yes, Barry, I am indeed in the allotment, says Arne. Headphones limit your annoyance to 1, my wife would say. And this, Joey says, about 3 years ago, I was in my spare room on the line to you boys playing the footballer game, and a week later, my missus and I separated and she got custody of the dog. I blame you, Bear. Joe, Liverpool fan. I felt very manly last night, says Darren, when I was asked by the missus to remove a very large spider from the bedroom. I got back in bed with manly pride boosted and slept very soundly. And this is morning, chaps.
I'd like to know how he removed the spider. Because yesterday, I found a big spider on my stairs.
Yeah.
And then a couple of hours later, I noticed it hadn't really moved. And I thought, he probably doesn't want to live on the stairs and I might step on him. So I did the glass piece of paper.
Did you catch a leg or you did it well?
No, did it perfectly.
Okay.
And then I just put him down in the kitchen where I think he'll be happier.
Okay. Is he still there?
I don't know.
Did he make a beef Wellington? Still a Premier League review.
Max and Barry's Premier League review on talkSPORT.
Abby says, you are my dirty secret. I have to pretend to either go to B&Q or do the shopping so I can listen to you guys in private. I've bought a load of useless things I don't ever need as proof that I've been there. And Philip sends a photo of him in the garage, listening in the garage. Anyway, where do you want to start, Barry?
I suppose we better go to the G-Tech Community Stadium, Max. You can vent.
Okay, you can do Brentford in a minute because they were brilliant. But I think it's hard. Like I sort of said at the top, but it's actually hard to do that little in a football match. To do nothing, like absolutely nothing, like nothing. There's an amazing that shot of that Spurs fan just at the end going, like, and he's absolutely right. And do you know what I love? Because obviously, you know, anyone who's on social media will watch their football team doing all their pre-season good vibes stuff. And, you know, Tottenham did everything. They had Gary Mabbott and Clive Allen, Les Ferdinand to meet the current squad. The social media person's always fist-pumping Matthias Tell and whatever and go, you know, this is great. We're in such a great spot here. They've also spent about 500 million quid on other humans to run around and be abject in a Tottenham shirt. And there's all this sort of positivity. And then it's just garbage. It was so funny. It was so bad, wasn't it? There was nothing. It's the first game of the season. Do something.
I texted you last night. I said, this is a textbook, at half-time. This is a textbook, lads, it's Tottenham first half performance. And I have noticed on social media a lot of Tottenham fans are saying, look, most of the players in the side yesterday won't be in Roberto De Zerbi's first choice 11. Apparently, some of the players who will be in Roberto De Zerbi's first choice 11 don't actually play for Spurs yet. But that doesn't seem to be an issue.
But do you wonder if you're Savino or you're Marmouche and you watch that and you think, should I really? I'm not going to get the ball a whole lot. Like, they couldn't move. Like physically, Brentford were just, all over them. They were better at football, but they were also like, I don't know, they won a duel. Has Richarlison ever held the ball up in his whole life? Has the ball ever gone into Richarlison and he's just made it stick ever? It's never happened.
Yeah, it is odd to see Spurs having spent that much money and then they still have Richarlison playing up front. He's not a terrible player.
No, he's all right.
He's all right.
I'm sure he'd go somewhere and be better, but I've never seen it stick ever.
But as you might expect, all the focus is on how bad Tottenham were. You have mentioned how good Brentford were, and they were outstanding. I kind of presumed they'd lose this game before it started, and the scales quickly fell from my eyes. They were brilliant. Bested Spurs in every department. They were much more physical. They moved the ball brilliantly. And obviously, there are lots of conclusions we all jump to after, 60% through the first weekend of the Premier League. But the first has to be that Mamadou Sangare will win the Ballon d'Or next season. He was brilliant.
He was brilliant.
I nearly dropped an F-bomb. Then suddenly remembered.
What a way to lose your job, isn't it? What a way to go.
Yeah.
I'm commending Mamadou Sangare on his opening performance.
Brentford debut.
But actually, like a few European football experts that we know had said, this guy is great. So I was there was a little part of me yesterday.
Right, I wasn't. Who?
Philippe
okay,
did. Lars did.
Right.
You were definitely sitting quite close to Philippe.
Maybe I wasn't listening.
It's every chance. Yeah, there was just part of me that thought, it would be so Spurs for him to absolutely dominate midfield, and he did. And Tonali looked exhausted, absolutely exhausted.
Well, he's probably tired after Italy's World Cup campaign.
Absolutely, I'm not ready. Late from the World Cup. So anyway, yeah, look, and I suppose it's quite interesting over the summer where you just talk about, there are footballers you talk so much about, and then Keane Lewis Potter, Vitaly Janat and Michael Cody, who no one has mentioned once on this radio or anywhere. They could go anywhere, do whatever they like, and they were all scored against Tottenham, and Brentford were brilliant. So well done to them. And at least for Tottenham fans, Man United had to deal with the same thing as well. And I must admit, that was what a great start.
And on the plus side for Tottenham fans, their trains homeward.
Yeah, it's not hard to get home from the G-Tech, is it? But I think after Arsenal beating Coventry, and you're a bit like, we need the season to start. And because it is unpredictable and you don't know, for Hull Hull dominated Manchester United. They were in the same way that and it shouldn't be a surprise that Brentford are better than Tottenham, maybe, but it is a surprise that Hull are better than Manchester United, or were yesterday. And they were so much better.
Well, I am one of many people who predicted that Hull would go straight back down. I think I caveated that, or not only said that, but I also said I thought they would break Derby County's low points record. That could still happen, of course, but I didn't think they would be able to lay a glove on teams like Manchester United, and they bossed them from start to more or less finish. And again, you don't want to draw too many conclusions from one game, or it would be silly to, but that's a worryingly poor performance from Manchester United.
And actually, the way Tottenham had nothing going forward. Like nothing. Like I was saying, didn't stick with Richarlison. You know, Mikey Moore fluffed a couple of chances. Matthias Tell's sort of okay. That forward line is not finished yet. But the Manchester United one kind of, you know, they are not planning to bring in anyone else in. And like you say, they could be brilliant. These two sides could go on a 37 game winning run. Seems unlikely. But attacking wise, Manchester United offered zero. You just thought there will be a reaction to this, right? You just thought, okay, it's 1-0, it's 2-0. Manchester United have to make a reaction here. And actually, there are so many similarities in that and Tottenham. There's just nothing happened. And I thought, because Hull changed both their centre-backs, didn't they? And they brought on that young Australian. I'm really keen to see how he does. Lucas Harrington. He's so highly rated. And you just thought, that is a really dangerous, that's a potential risk. You bring on two guys in that position, and they just saw that game out, Hull.
Yeah.
So easily. And there was one run from McBurney.
Yeah,
so good, wasn't
dribbled past, who was it, Tonali and Mazraoui?
Well, Tonali hasn't gone to Man United yet, but,
Oh, sorry.
Who knows? We're not ready, Barry. We're not in the physical condition to be doing this show. We're not ready. But then, sorry, this text says...
Oh, it was Tielemans.
Tielemans, yeah.
Oh, Tielemans, who I also flagged up as, he's going to be one of the signings of the season. He looked like he was pulling a caravan yesterday. He's still a good player, I think, but perhaps he's also not ready.
Yeah, who knows? But they are, all the pre-season we had, because yesterday we had Theo Delaney on talking about how Spurs.
I heard
we had Andy Mitten on yesterday.
I heard him.
Real positivity about Manchester United, and
Well, Andy's a very level-headed guy. He's not going to lose the run of himself because Manchester United lost against Hull. Well, I wouldn't expect him. He's not a reactionary.
No.
Oh, what is this rubbish fan? In my experience, so he'll be cool enough. And he mentioned yesterday that he's been to all the pre-season games, so he'll have a better idea of how Manchester United are fixed for the season ahead than most, I expect. He may even take over from Michael Carrick.
It's possible, isn't it? Back in March this year, says Anthony, 50 years old, older than that, I removed and changed the overflow pipe on the old washing machine and fitted the new one. Having not ever done this before, the surge of testosterone, looking at my new gal, he says, about his washing machine, it's almost palpable. I almost felt like smoking a pipe with self-satisfaction. Very well done.
I've just remembered, actually, third thing that's impressive.
I hope that's not a whole euphemism, because it could be. Anyway, do carry on.
Another thing I did once as a teenager, under supervision, that made me feel really manly.
Oh, yeah.
I shoed a horse.
Oh, well done.
The horse.
Okay, all four?
No, just one.
Just one?
Just one.
How long does it take?
It took me about half an hour. It would take a normal farrier, I don't know, 20 minutes.
Oh, right. Okay, it's not like a pit stop.
No.
Okay, so you're in the ballpark for on a different
No, I think it'd take a normal farrier to do all four hooves.
We'll do 20 minutes.
Maybe half an hour.
All right. So was someone else holding the hoof, and you were just?
No, I was holding the hoof, and then obviously a lot of the time the horse. So you've the hoof between your legs,
of course,
from behind,
and
the horse goes, oh, there's a man.
Holding my legs.
Holding my leg. I'm going to have a little sit down, a little lean against his back.
Yeah.
And it's very, when you've got a horse leaning on your back, it's quite, it's supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, of course. You carried a horse.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And did the shoe go?
No, but shoeing a horse is very fulfilling.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that right? So what if people are, if you are currently feeling unfulfilled,
go and shoe a horse.
Find your nearest horse and hammer. Is it hammer and nails? What is it?
Yeah.
Hammer and nails. Like, surely you would think.
Well, you have to file down the hoof as well.
Right.
And
take a while?
Yeah.
All right.
It's hard work.
That seemed hard, isn't it? What if they didn't have shoes?
I don't know. I presume there's a reason they have shoes.
Because they probably didn't. They're not born naturally to wear shoes.
No, well, you know, they're about Doc Martin at the end of each leg.
Go on Dragon's Den with our idea for Air Jordans for horses. It is Max and Barry with you on the warm-up until 1:30. We'll do more Premier League review in just a second. All brought to you with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more with a Travis Perkins trade account and you could win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply.
Yeah, all right, boys, how you doing?
Yeah, very good. Good to have you on. What do you want to say?
I just want to say this stinky Arsenal chat from you boys this morning is nothing short of comical.
Go on.
Gabby saying that Arsenal should be winning the league with our spending. Well, both of you. You know, recruitment's a big part of it. Look at the likes of City. Well, not City, but likes of Chelsea, United. They've spent loads of money. It's not a given that you're going to win the league. I think we've proven, you know, the culture Arteta's built alongside getting the right recruitment, bringing Berta in. You know, it's impressive.
Yeah.
So you don't think the money that you spent, you should be winning the Premier League?
I don't think it's got anything to do with the money. I think it's got to do with the quality.
You know what?
I think the quality of your squad is so good that you should be winning the league.
It costs a lot of money.
Definitely.
I agree. And that says more about the recruitment than just pure spending. Obviously, pure spending comes into it, but it doesn't mean that it's a given that we're going to win the league. Or I think we will win the league, but it isn't just as simple as saying we should be winning it. Arteta's not that good of a manager because of the spending.
Who said that?
Disagree with that. Well, that's what the sort of the signs I was getting from Gabby before. It was sort of like he should be winning the league.
Matt's been in touch. Barry, could you please remind Max that humans are also not born with a pair of Doc Martens? It's a good point. Well made. And Martin the Trucker says, just tuned in to hear Air Jordans for Horses. I thought Mike Parry was back. It is talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning here until 1:30. Let's go to the Hawthorns. West Brom versus Burnley live on talkSPORT 2. Midday kickoff. Chris Llewellyn and Ian Dance are there for us. And Dance has the team news. Hey, Dance.
Morning to you, Max. Morning, Barry. One change for West Bromwich Albion. It's enforced on James Morrison thanks to VAR by stealth in the week where Orna Hegerber was given a 2-match ban. Jason Malumbi, who came on in the win at Norwich into midfield, gets a start, so it's a slight change in system. 4-4-1-1. O'Leary in goal. Galvez, Phillips, Campbell and Styles in the back four. Whitwell, Diakite, Malumbi and Price across midfield. And Murder, who was playing in central midfield at Carrow Road, will now play just in behind. Jimmy J. Morgan, who scored a wonderful goal in East Anglia last weekend. For Burnley, the big news for them is that Zion Fleming is out. But in order to curb the potential conspiracy theories, it's not because he's off to Lille just yet, or at least not at the moment, because he picked up a calf injury and hasn't trained all week. That is why Fleming isn't playing. Armando Broja, once of Chelsea, gets the nod up front for him, and Josh Laurent comes into midfield for Raghuber. Weiss in goal for the Clarets. Sonner, Elaine, Walker and Humphreys the back four. Laurent and Mejbri, Hannibal that is, holding in midfield. Then Edwards, Ramsey and Brun Larsen behind Broja in attack. Yeah, we're on there from 11:45, Max, on talkSPORT 2. Kick-off midday, West Brom against Burnley.
Happy new season, Chris. Fleming, that's a big miss for Burnley, isn't it?
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, it is. It's a huge miss. You know, I think it would have felt like a win, the draw against West Ham last weekend, the way they showed character. I thought they were the better team. Definitely second half where they kind of had a majority of it. It's just got to be clinical, put those chances away. But yeah, I think it's so important that they keep Fleming at the club. You know, he does everything. He ticks all the boxes. He's got that aggression. He's a fantastic outlet. Holds the ball up, and as we've seen last week, he can score goals as well. So very, very, very important to keep this man at the club.
Chris, what do you make of the ban that's been handed to Hegerbo? I think it's bizarre.
I think it's an absolute disgrace, I'll be honest with you. I think when you're looking at it, I'm watching it. As a striker, you're running in, the ball is coming at him 100 miles an hour, and basically, okay, it does come off the arm. He can't get out of the way of it, Barry. So at the end of the day, he's a foot from the line. You make any contact to put it over, and he's getting punished for the officials not doing their job. It makes no sense to me.
There's a lot of anger around here as well, Jet. Speaking to people that work for the club, it does feel, and I totally agree with them, like VAR by stealth, what's going on here. And West Brom feel that they've been sinned against more than most in the EFL. Whether that's right or wrong is open to debate, but they're certainly not happy with the way that they've been treated here.
Yeah, and I think they're right. Mad decisions now. Cheers, gents. Midday, if you prefer them to us, over on talkSPORT 2, West Brom versus Burnley. Where do you want to go next? Portman Road, then? Ipswich 2, Sunderland 1. I'm sorry for your defeat, Barry.
It's all right.
I thought it was a good game, though.
It was a good game, and I think Ipswich probably just about deserved to win, and Sunderland gifted them 2 very soft goals by, well, Luca Nine gave the ball away for the first one, and then his replacement gave the ball away for the second one.
That's very casual in the last minute. That's such a dangerous pass. It's such a hard pass. Even if it's done well and the midfielder is in the right place and, it relies on the pass being perfect, his touch being perfect. I know that's how a lot of people build out from the back, but, yeah, avoidable.
Yeah, and Omar Alderete, I expect better from him. And Luca Nine as well. He interestingly was on Jake Humphrey's High Performance podcast during the summer.
Excellent.
So I thought a pep
probably
talk
tired because he got up at 5 a.m. then.
Yeah, and had an ice bath. But he was talking about the mindset of how if he makes a mistake, he doesn't dwell on it. He used to dwell on it, but now he's sort of trained himself to. Not dwell.
Good news for him.
yeah. But I did notice after his mistake yesterday, he made several more mistakes and then got substituted because he was on a yellow card and in grave danger of getting sent off.
It's possible that he'd forgotten about the previous one. I mean, we don't know. Now, I have at the end of Match of the Day, Mark Chapman finished with. What was his name? Who's the Brazilian dude? They've stuck.
Emerson.
Emerson, yeah. Emerson, the first Brazilian to score for Ipswich since Allen. Now, I've made this joke about a week ago And I wonder if I can claim IP on it, or do you think many others will have made it independently? It's a sort of, I can't be the only person to know.
Are you accusing Chappers of stealing your joke, or just having a similar sense of humour?
I imagine he's got writers.
Oh, you think? He's got a team.
I reckon he's got a team of writers. A bit like, Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
That's not the match of the day. The writers' room. So maybe it's the writers. So maybe inadvertently, I think he's a man of such honour that had he known I'd already done the joke, he would have said, I need a new line for the end of match of the day. It's a big moment, the first match of the day of the season.
Yeah.
And I don't want to...
And he can't really preface the big moment, the closing line of the first match of the day of the season by saying, this is from Max Rushden.
Yeah.
Max Rushden
he
said
could.
this
I don't
on
mind.
the radio 2 weeks ago.
I'm really happy if that's what he wants to do. I think he could give us an advert. I think that would be fine. But anyway, but look, it could just be that we both thought of the same thing.
Yeah, I suspect that's probably the case.
The two most versatile, naturally talented broadcasters. Who else? I mean, and Ciso, he had a good game, didn't he?
He ran Sunderland ragged. He was brilliant. He may trouble the Brentford midfielder Sangara in the race for the
Ballon d'Or, of course. Yeah.
But will Julio Cisse? I was going to say, can he do it on a wet Wednesday in Stoke? But he probably won't have to.
No, it's unlikely, isn't it?
Unless Ipswich get Stoke in the Carabao Cup. In which case he may well be rested.
He might be, yes. Kyle Sherpen, the Ipswich goalkeeper, is 6'9".
Yes.
Do you think there's a height where it becomes a hindrance? Like he can bounce around, he's fine. But like, at what height would you not be able to be a keeper because you're just so tall?
It takes you so long
to get up, or takes you long to fall down like a tree.
Was it in this show or some other show? The subject of goalkeepers who can't dive right came up.
That was. I don't know. We do so much work back.
Or no, some goalkeeper can't dive left.
It's Donnarumma can't dive right.
Right. Okay.
Or he can't dive left. One of the two.
Yeah.
So if you are,
is that because he's too tall, or
I don't know, but if you are a Bournemouth centre forward, you are Krupi's out, isn't he? But if you are Alex Scott and you're having a pop, shoot it to his right. He can't dive right, Donnarumma.
Right. Okay.
Which I think is because we were saying, is that his Achilles heel? That feels more than an Achilles heel for a goalkeeper, doesn't it?
Well, was it Zoolander where one of the models couldn't turn left on the runway? Yes, or have I just imagined that?
Sounds quite like Zoolander.
That also seems a problem.
Yeah. Matt says, I find it hard to believe people are stealing your jokes, Max. Thank you. This text says, I'm quite a literal man. Chris Wellamo said it was morning and afternoon, and that the ball hit for Hegebo was coming in at 100 miles an hour. So is it morning or afternoon? And balls come in at 100 miles an hour? Because I can be a bit more forgiving for terrible finishing at that speed. I think he had Chris creative license, Chris.
Said afternoon first, then realised it isn't yet noon, so he corrected himself.
Did correct himself, yeah. But if we were to deconstruct his one answer.
He did suggest that the cross was 100 miles an hour to Hegebo.
And it wasn't, was it?
No. Well, it might have been. I don't know.
I have seen it. I don't think it was. And so we apologise on Chris Wellamo's behalf. And Keith Andrews at the end. Oh, no, that was... That's the Brentford game. He doesn't manage Ipswich or Sunderland. Everton, we're not ready. We're not in physical condition, like Roberto De Zerbi said. Everton 2, Palace 0. Palace could have been ahead. Even David Moyes said it. Yes. Got to score. Mateta's got to score. Maybe Mateta didn't score because he doesn't believe his contract is valid.
That's an interesting one. So is he agitating for a move away?
Yes.
And the word on the street is that Ismail Assar also wants to move to Galatasaray.
Mm-hmm.
And judging by some of the passes he was pinging around yesterday, and we all know how good Adam Wharton is, I'm guessing there's no shortage of suitors for him.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a Crystal Palace fan, I think I would be panic-stricken at the thought of losing all three of them in this window, which seems not totally out of the question.
Yeah, possible.
But Wharton seems happy. He seems very chilled. He's not that fussed whether he's in the England squad or not.
Maybe he is. He just plays.
He's not. Yeah, but
could be fretting right now about all of it.
He's a terrific player. Like, he played
so languid and nice.
The pass he played over the top to Eddie Nketiah yesterday was that. who then brought that brilliant save out of Jordan Pickford, the save onto the post. That was such a wonderful pass.
How many cutaways do you think we'll see of Andy Burnham this season on the McIntyre-Noel Gallagher scale?
Oh, a lot.
A lot, yeah.
But will Peter Reid always be sitting beside him dressed as Trigger from Only Fools and Horses in his blue suit?
I think he's the Chancellor now.
Okay.
And, you know,
I'm glad to have him.
I'm a big Reedy fan, so I'm in for that. Dewsbury Hall kicked that incredibly hard.
I know you're not allowed to tell me, or you're not allowed to say it on air, but I often think of the first thing Peter Reid ever said to you when you met him.
Yeah, it was a great line.
It always makes me laugh.
If you ever see me in the street, you can ask me.
Yeah.
But it was a great line. And I'm trying to work out how much you look like Pierre Sage. I think quite a lot.
You think I look more like him than I do, than I think. But he's I'd be happy to look like him.
Yeah, I think so. And well done, Leeds, who won at Forest. I thought Ola Aina could have been sent off for that. I thought it was a pretty wild challenge. And you obviously can't get beaten from your near post, but you can. Clearly, evidence suggests.
I think you're not helped by the fact that the wall, such as it was, disintegrated and the ball went right through it. So you can't really legislate for that if you're a goalkeeper. Whether or not you're able to dive right is, another story.
Christopher says, Mark Chapman was good on House of Games. It is possible he is intelligent enough to share the same thought as you, Max. P.S. You were the best presenter of Soccer AM. Thank you so much. Mark couldn't have done that gig as well as you, not even Goldstein or Lovejoy, but Gary Stevens. Sorry, Max. Great show. Thanks so much. I think there may have been a compliment backhanded in there somewhere. We'll do some EFL in just a second.
Danny, when you look at it, United in that fairly congested midfield area, say Baliba comes through the door, Tielemans is there, Santos, Mainu, Bruno Fernandes. Well, it's going to be a mighty old force in midfield, is it not?
It looks a very strong group of players, all giving little different parts of what you want. A far cry, really, from what we've seen over the last couple of years. United struggling in midfield areas. And I think we're talking about one of the biggest clubs in the world. They'll be looking to try and compete for the Premier League and the Champions League in the next couple of years. Of course they will. That's the aim of a club like Manchester United. So you need at least 5, when you think about it, in the middle of the park who are going to be pushing each other, especially if they play a 3. Bruno's probably the one standout, you say, in all the big games he's going to play.
Yeah.
He's got great durability anyway, and he's the match, the game changer, the match winner, the creative force, the goals. I would imagine for me, out of the others, Santos, Baliba, both young lads, both got more to come. Tielemans is more rounded, more ready to take that on. I think Tielemans has
Where's it leave Mainu? A lot of people asking me to ask you that.
Well,
and what's your ideal starting 3?
I think that would depend a lot on where they're at when they come in and how they adapt to the pressure and expectation of being at Man United, because that's never easy. I think initially he might go Tielemans, Bruno and Mainu, because Mainu...
Here it comes from Carey from the right, far side into the near post. Kumetio went for it. Jones with a bicycle kick, and he scored! Lloyd Jones, the captain for Charlton Athletic. What a finish! Improvised it was, stupendous it was. It's run back for Campbell. Campbell into the area now, puts it in the bottom corner. What a finish! Tyrese Campbell, 3 in 3, and a second at London Stadium for Charlton Athletic.
They've been outworked by Charlton Athletic. That's what you can't do in the Championship.
Stianos saved, rebound in from Peru. It's a debut goal for the number 9, and West Ham are back in it. Passer edge the area, and the shot is teed up for Orford. Was that handball? It's a penalty! Penalty to West Ham United. Arnold stuttered run up. It's the post! It's off the post and away! The Charlton Athletic fans dancing in the stands. West Ham have missed the penalty, and with that is their opportunity to get a point gone. What drama in the EFL, live on talkSPORT 2.
No, they'd missed a penalty in the injury time until that moment. No, it makes it even funnier, doesn't it? So, yeah, West Ham's disappointing start to the season continues. Let's do that and a bit of other EFL too with Ryan Dilks, EFL expert. Hey, Ryan.
Hi, guys. You all right?
Yeah, good, thanks. Lots of people tipping West Ham, and it hasn't started. Well, a mate of ours, Joel, was there, a Charlton fan, saying he got to hear the London Stadium boos in person for the first time.
One of the ninth wonders of the world, that's isn't it? It was, to be fair, Charlton were absolutely brilliant from start to finish. They defended so well in this game. And you mentioned the penalty there. If that had gone in, it would have been very, very unfair on them if they didn't get all 3 points, because they deserved it based off the performance. But West Ham, very underwhelming. Again, I don't know if last time we spoke, Max, we were talking before the West Ham Burnley game last Sunday, and they were
lucky
to be 2 up in that game. They didn't really deserve to be having the lead at that point, and they obviously drew in the end. But yeah, a very underwhelming showing so far from West Ham, and considering they've got the likes of Jared Bowen, Manor Solomon, Tati Castellanos, incredible really. But if I was a West Ham fan, I'd be very concerned based off what I've seen so far.
Yeah, Ryan, I wasn't convinced by West Ham's status as favourites, and they haven't started well. Obviously, things could turn around, but I'm not sure Nuno's the guy to get them out of the Championship, and I don't think he'll be their head coach by the end of the season, possibly won't be their head coach by Christmas. Would you agree?
I definitely wouldn't have ruled that out at the start of the season. I know not the top 20 lads, they had raised concerns about Nuno's style of play, not necessarily befitting that of a side who romps home to the Championship. As we've seen in recent years, you look at your Marcelo Bielsa's, your Daniel Farkers, those kind of managers, they play, high pressing possession football, which is not exactly what we know Nuno does with his teams, and that's why there would be concerns there. But based off this, I think when you ask West Ham fans, a lot of them would say they weren't hugely convinced about him, even though we as outsiders look at him and go, oh, surely they'll cruise the Championship with Nuno running this team. But it's been very problematic so far, and from what I'm seeing online, many West Ham fans are wanting him to go already.
Yeah. Ryan, and a friend of mine is a Norwich fan. She travelled down yesterday to see them get absolutely pumped by Millwall, who's managed by their former head coach, Alex Neil. And she was saying there was a bit of Norwich fans were arguing amongst themselves in the away, and some booing the team, others saying that they should, get behind Philippe Clement's side. But they haven't started well either, despite being fancied to do very well this season.
Yeah, they haven't. I'm not sure I'd agree with the take of your esteemed colleague, Adrian Durham, who was saying Philippe Clement should be sacked after that showing. But Norwich fans haven't been very impressed with what they've seen. And I think that's fair, considering the expectations have been pretty high. But they were pretty honking against Millwall yesterday. But Millwall are a good team, aren't they? Everyone, bizarrely, the bookies have them down as finishing as a mid-table side this season. And I have never understood why that was the case, because they haven't lost anyone. They've got the same team as last season, plus have spent 10, 15 million on new signings. And they've got Alex Neil, who's a brilliant, underrated manager at this level. Yes, if you put a wig on him, he looks a bit like a dinner lady, but he's a very good manager at this level, and has got a very good team here who will work their socks off and will cause a lot of teams problems this season. So I see no reason why Millwall won't be a automatic promotion contender again this season. Norwich, very underwhelming yesterday, but I don't think we should lose our heads after one game with them. And they were obviously very unfortunate last week with the Norwegian hand of God.
Yeah, I was thinking Norwich fans arguing amongst themselves just what's the best tractor or the handling of a combine harvester, how do you grow the best carrot, or is anyone ever going to be better than Bernard Matthews? Sorry, it's just an East Anglian. Some good stuff there from me. Can we talk about
I don't think Chappers will be stealing those gags.
Don Ballard, right, who I watched quite a lot. He came on loan at Cambridge for the end of a season where we were hopeless, and he looked like he had something, and he went to Leyton Orient and scored loads of goals last season. And the goal he scored for Bristol City against Birmingham was absolutely brilliant, right?
Ridiculous. That is the thing is, I've never even seen a goal like that before. Like, you guys have got longer memories than me when it comes to football. But
we're older than you, Ryan. I think it's you.
Well,
right,
yes.
You can say it that way.
Yes, that is what I was referring to there. But yeah, I've never seen a goal like that before. But it is absolutely outrageous. Like, I've seen backheel goals on the volley every so often, I guess, but I've never seen one which is like 8 yards out like that was and has gone into the top bit.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So good, isn't it? You've just seen it.
Yeah.
What a goal. Absolutely sort of powered it and chipped it home. Yeah, it's an unbelievable goal. There were a couple of other good things. There was a sort of Adebayor celebration from someone somewhere.
A Newport. No,
Yeah.
it was somebody scored against Newport.
Rovers.
Bristol
Ryan, you
Rovers.
know. Tell us. Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, Bobby Camera, who Bristol Rovers, I think that's right. I'm testing my own memory now, against Newport, and he obviously isn't a big fan of theirs based off that, but that led to a furious reaction from the Newport fans, and what is, I guess, is a bit of a local derby, Bristol Newport. But yeah, that was very funny. But I mean, that's what the EFL's all about. I particularly enjoyed. We've kind of skirted over this as well, but Nathan Jones absolutely losing his mind after the Charlton win yesterday. But I mean, that's a very Nathan Jones thing to do, isn't it?
It is. And if you can't do it there, where can you do it? Also, who was it who did a sort of Robbie Keane / Dion Dublin, hid by the post for the keeper to stick the ball on the ground and then popped it home?
I can't remember his name, but it was for Crewe, I think. But yes, that doesn't happen enough for me. That is one of the classic of the own goals and gas genres, isn't it? That kind of thing. But yeah, great EFL action this weekend. I think I'll also give a mention for, if we're looking for funny things to mention, the fact that we are now 2 games into the season and the 3 heavy favourites in all 3 leagues yet to win a game, with all 3 of them losing yesterday, which I guess brings us
Salford got done again, did they? Salford got done by Chesterfield. In League One, what you're saying, Leicester?
Leicester, against Burton of all teams as well, which I guess is
Ryan,
kind of local
that
derby.
Leicester, I didn't see it, but it seems like it was an absolute fiasco. There were 2 goals and a man down after inside half an hour.
Yes, exactly right, Baz. They were absolutely honking, and this is a Burton team who basically everyone's predicted to finish bottom, let alone get relegated this season, but they were shocking. And yeah, Burton were holding on a bit towards the end, but flipping out, considering Leicester have got some players in that team who were playing for them in the Premier League, it is ridiculous how they have been completely outdone by a pretty poor Burton side. But the frustration was high there already, obviously, with everything that went on last season, but now it's looking pretty bleak for them already. And Salford, as you guys mentioned there, they lost again. So if you were one of those people who had the very obvious treble heading into this season of West Ham, Leicester and Salford to win each of their leagues, then you'd be thinking, well, that's that money gone down the drain already.
Yeah. Cheers, Ryan. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Thanks, Ryan.
Cheers, guys.
Ryan Dilks, EFL expert. Surely what's the best track would be an argument for Ipswich fans to have rather than Norwich, says Matthew. Norwich fans, Nick saying Norwich fans arguing, does too much mustard really get to your nose? I love Max's stereotyping of Norwich fans. As a Hereford fan, does he see us having a piece of straw at the side of our mouths and swilling copious amounts of cider from Stu and Hereford? Yes. Absolutely, that's exactly it. And Alan says, I've never felt manlier than yesterday when I succeeded in removing a rotary washing line which had been stuck in the ground for 3 decades. I felt like King Arthur with Excalibur. He who lifts the rotary washing line will be king of this realm. It is Max and Barry with you until 1:30. Marcus Ramble of the Football Speller. Marcus Speller of the Football Ramble. Fulham fan will join us. We'll look ahead to the Premier League afternoon in just a sec.
For the record, we've had 7 different Premier League winners.
Over 33 years, over 34 years.
But this time...
Wow.
But this time, Simon, do you not agree that this is probably the most competitive ever Premier League season on the horizon?
For participation, not for winning. You're going to be one of the 4 clubs that has the biggest turnovers is going to win the league. Aston Villa are not going to win the league. Newcastle are not going to win the league.
So how do you explain Leicester when they did it?
A rare and absolute anomaly that was never allowed to happen again, because all the big clubs sat on their hands, suddenly decided that they could all do things in a certain way, and they got caught with their pants down, even to the way that they allowed Leicester to play. Everybody knew how Leicester played. Drinkwater gets the ball, looks up, knocks it long for Vardy, and yet on the last game of the season they were doing the same thing, and teams were still playing the same way against them. So don't ask me how I explain that situation, but it's not going to be repeated, and it hasn't been repeated since, and that was now a decade ago. So who's won the league since then, and who won the league prior to that?
So tell me straight, how many teams this time around do you feel can aspire to win the Premier League?
2, 3. But that doesn't mean the league's not competitive. The argument, why would you suggest that governance needs to be brought in to the most successful league that has been the commercially most successful league in the history of football? Why are you regulating it? What are you regulating it from? I understand what he's saying is that the Premier League clubs want some degree of control. They want governance. Yeah, they want good disciplines. They want good governance. They want good...
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend, even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. They'd been introduced not for leg protection, but instead to give batters a strategic advantage. The idea was that batters could put their leg pads in front of the wicket if they missed the ball, preventing them from being bowled out. Obviously, that all changed when the LBW rule came in, but that was the theory behind them. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Apparently, he'd broken his leg in a match against Sheffield United in 1874 and wanted to stop it from happening again. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads, sewed them into his socks and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. Ta-da! Shin pads. Like all great genius inventors, everyone took the mickey at first. To be fair, he probably looked quite stupid running around with these on. But it's thought his whole Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this protection was pretty important for footballers. Multiple studies have shown wearing shin pads clearly reduces the risk of players getting lower leg injuries. And so in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became a part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says pads must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, and players can get away with a lot. A lot of grassroots clubs are choosing to ban micro shin pads for obvious reasons though, especially after a 15-year-old player from Penistone Church broke his leg while wearing them. Still no change from IFAB though. That's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Good afternoon. It is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30 today. James in Doncaster says, hi, Max and Barry. Can we give a shout-out for Freddie and the rest of the Doncaster Rovers under-11s on our way to a South Yorkshire derby against Sheffield Wednesday? Thanks, James. Would you like to do the honours?
Yeah, I wish them all the very best. Hate the Sheffield Wednesday under-11s.
A bunch of absolute... I hate the way they play football.
Yeah.
Get stuck. Stick a reducer in early. 4-4-2. Get it launched. Take no prisoners.
Yeah, absolutely. Get stuck into them.
Is that the advice we should be giving the under-11s of Doncaster Rovers? It's been bothering me, says Tigger. How did Barry dispatch the poor innocent fish?
I ate it. Oh, sorry. How did
you
I...
didn't eat it live, did you? A rock?
Yeah, I whacked its head off a rock.
Oh, no. poor trout.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it was a different time, Max. It was a different time. It was the early 80s.
Right, I see.
And you were allowed to do things like that. These days, because of woke, you have to take the hook out of the fish's mouth, then you pose for a picture, and then you throw it back in. Well, you don't even throw it back in. You carefully place it back in.
Sure. Poor fish.
Yeah, but...
Exactly. You're right, it was a different time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you'll be cancelled for that, Barry, but we'll see.
I have a funny feeling we've had this conversation on this show before.
I also have a funny feeling that if we can't remember it, we're finding this amusing. Hopefully the listeners... Are there any other conversations we've had before you'd like us to repeat when we're waiting for guests to turn up? Please let us know. 81089. We can do our greatest hits. Because I have never repeated an anecdote, and I think I might get started soon. Let's look ahead to the games of the Premier League this afternoon with Marcus Speller from the Football Ramble. Hey, Marcus.
Hello, gentlemen. Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's okay. Right. This is nice. An old-fashioned phone line, like listening to Peter Jones on Radio 2, giving me Rapid Vienna versus Levski Sevilla. I was listening to, I don't know why that football match, if that's ever been played, came up. How are you feeling, Marcus, about the start of the Premier League season? Having a good time?
Yeah, very good, very good. We've got through that sort of funny bit, haven't we? Post World Cup, and then we're sort of, is this transfer going to happen? And then okay, and transfers are great. We enjoy transfers, but there's only so much they can give you. We want the football, and we've got the football back, and we've had some outstanding results already. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, there was some. I mean, we've done quite a lot on how bad Tottenham were. Probably not enough on how bad Manchester United were. But if you'd like to stick the boot into either, you're absolutely welcome to.
It's the Lord's Day, Max. I'll let you off today with that.
That's very kind of you.
I can confirm, Max, that Rapid Vienna have never played Levski Sofia.
What am I
I've just checked.
Thank you so much.
And what are you even doing?
I mean, I must say, you don't often do mid-show research, Barry, but, given the opportunity to throw me under the bus.
Barry obviously was reading through one of Jonathan Wilson's books there.
He was. Yeah. Games that have never happened. God, that would be a Wilson chapter. Right,
sorry, are we looking back at yesterday's games or Marcus are looking ahead to today's?
I think he's capable of both.
Right, well, Marcus, I'm just looking at today's Premier League fixtures. Brighton Villa, Man City, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Liverpool. And it occurs to me, I don't really know what to expect from any of those games or any of those teams.
Is that not that seems to be it really though this season in the Premier League, other than maybe Arsenal, who a lot of people have got for the title, myself included. But I think there is a great mystique, and the mystique will carry on until Monday night with the West London derby between Fulham and Chelsea. But I don't want to jump ahead to that because that would be naughty of me. But I mean, Villa, take Aston Villa. You're right, sold a lot of players. This summer, a lot of big players as well. I don't know if Ollie Watkins is still looking at Saudi Arabia as well, but there was all chat about that. Whereas Unai Emery sounds very confident. He's talking a good game. So I don't really know what to expect from them. And with Villa, they've got the Champions League this season as well. And they've been, obviously very good in the league of late. I am very intrigued as to see what they're going to do against a Brighton side who, I think, relatively speaking, Brighton have the same manager. I know they've sold, as they tend to do, a few players. That doesn't seem to deter them. So I think it'll be a stern test for Aston Villa. It's a great shame that the young lad Brian Maggio is not going to be playing because he was magnificent in the Super Cup final. So I was really looking forward to seeing him play. And whenever he comes back, I think he'll be great. So yeah, Villa are one. I think I'd go as far to say it's compulsive viewing, if I may, or listening, should I say, as we're on talkSPORT, for Aston Villa to see what they can come up with.
Yeah, and Brighton have signed 6 players. I think I'd heard of 2, which I think is quite a good hit rate for Brighton.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
And I presume the 4 I haven't heard of are all absolutely brilliant.
And we'll go to Chelsea
We'll go to
for
Chelsea
£200
in a
million
year or two.
in a season.
Yeah. They're all potential £80 million players, those 4 that you haven't heard of course, as it's Brighton. But even today, Manchester City, obviously very poor in the Community Shield. And, new manager, everybody knows, it's post-Pep Guardiola. It was going to happen. It's now happening. So what are they going to do against the Bournemouth team, who, of course, have got their own new manager as well? I think if it was Iraiola's Bournemouth, I think a victory for the Cherries wouldn't have been a bad outside bet. But now again, so many managerial changes. I think that's the thing. When a manager changes, you think, what's going to happen here? But with Man City, that Community Shield loss was so poor. It was really, really stark. And Maresca, after the game, was talking about, maybe we need a few more transfers, this, that, and the others. Jack Grealish came on in that game. Maresca was asked about Grealish, and he seemed to think, he's a lovely bloke, great heart. Yeah, we like him. Is he going to play for you much? Well, we'll see. It all sounds a little bit disjointed. So if I was a Man City fan, I think I'd be quite concerned. But they do have a very talented squad of players. So I think, they'll be okay in the end. But an intriguing game.
Is Marco Rosa good? We've sat next to some European football experts who seem to think he isn't. He's a sort of failing upwards. And there's nothing wrong with failing upwards, I'd say. But he might be that type.
Yeah, he could be. I mean, he's a big name, and to be fair to Bournemouth, they got that done pretty quickly. I mean, it was evident that Areola was going to leave, and so fair play to Bournemouth for getting their man in place. They identified him pretty quick. This is kind of, an interesting time for Bournemouth themselves. Because if you think of Andoni Iraola, you had was it Gary O'Neill? If my memory serves me correctly. The main man of Ipswich Town at the moment, and Bournemouth weren't great. And Iraola took them and turned them into this really good side, great to watch, and so on and so forth. But there's not been a precedent, really, of Bournemouth doing particularly well in the league for a sustained period of time. So again, with Bournemouth, there's this change. How will this be sustained? They've lost a few key players. They did the previous season, of course, and they were okay. So again, it is that managerial merry-go-round which I think has kept things very, very interesting indeed in the Premier League.
And obviously Newcastle, Liverpool, you've 2 new managers.
There they go again.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say quite a lot of Newcastle fans are a bit concerned about having the spine of their team sold during the summer.
Look like they sold Tonali at the right time.
Well, they'd be slightly less concerned after watching that game last night. Obviously, Eddie Howe is gone. Liverpool fans will also be a bit, they look light on numbers in certain positions. And Andoni Iraola, we know he's a good manager, but when he took over at Bournemouth, they didn't win any of their first 10 games. This is another game today. I just don't know what to expect.
Yeah, again, it seems to be the name of the game. I mean, what I would say about Newcastle United is what I've heard some of their fans say and so on is at least they've got better at selling players. You think of the fees they've got for those players, and they did it without the fuss. There was all that business with Alexander Isak last summer. So on that side of things, yes, they've done pretty well. Bringing in some of the younger players, some exciting players around Europe. There's more potential there, of course, rather than end product. Again, it's not terrible business. It's not too bad. But they're a funny side, Newcastle, because with the sort of stability, if you like, under Eddie Howe. Because remember when Howe took over, they were battling relegation, although it was early days. Howe, it was like one season we're in the Champions League, the next season we're not, and it was almost like a yo-yo side with regard to qualification for Europe. They obviously won the League Cup. They by and large, I think you have to say that Eddie Howe did a good job, but he's gone now. There's a new regime in place. It feels like the team is going to be a new team under the new man. I think it probably did need a refresh, that squad, because that midfield 3 of Guimaraes, Tonali and Joel Linton, on their day, they were superb. But obviously, 2 of them have gone, for crying out loud. But also, I did feel that there's maybe a little bit of refresh needed. We shall see how the new guy gets on. The club is probably financially a little bit better than what it had been before, but a really interesting time for them. With regard to Liverpool, I mean, they needed to change Arne Slot. I mean, the style of football under Slot, that's really what did it for him. I mean, the results as well. But it was so funny, that guy wins the Premier League, then the season after he's gone. We've seen it at other clubs, of course. But Iraola's a new man in. He knows the Premier League. He knows how to get a tune out of certain players. Will he get a tune out of this star-studded Liverpool squad? Well, we shall wait and see.
We shall. And just quickly on your mob, home to Chelsea tomorrow night?
Yeah, let's hope Fulham can catch Chelsea cold rather than the other way around. I mean, this Spanish experiment at Fulham is, it's an intriguing one. I mean, Fulham fans seem to, everyone is saying the same thing when asked, what do you think? And there's a shrug of the shoulders, I don't know. And then you might get some who will say, I'm a little bit worried. And some will say, I'm a little bit excited about something new. I mean, that was... again, the stability under Marco Silva, he took Fulham a yo-yo side, got them into solid mid-table Premier League status. At some point, Silva was going to go. They got Arbeloa in. I mean, he's Spanish. Spain are pretty good at producing managers and players and so on. So if you were going to do an experiment from another country, then I probably would have chosen Spain. I think the two new boys, though, look good. Gonzalo Garcia and Cesar Palacios. Hopefully they can express themselves, because if they can, I think Fulham might do all right. I think that 12th position could be ours come the end of the season.
What's the point of any of this? And then we do it all, and then Fulham at 12th. Cheers, Marcus. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Marcus.
Guys. Bye.
Marcus Miller there from the Football Ramble. Cole says, can we have Barry's gripping David Ferrer story again from around 10 years ago? Christopher says, Barry putting himself in the shop window if Fisherman's Blues returns to talkSPORT. Hasn't he got enough money already? George, can we have the DJ in the microwave talent again? Absolute classic. That or the Barry on an easy jet and a child behind talking Bournemouth fantasy football with his dad. Matt says, Barry taking a break from murdering fish to do some research. Applause emoji. Philip in Worley says, on the subject of repeating things, Max could repeat the Brazil joke again and see if Mark Chapman accuses him of plagiarism. That's a good idea, isn't it? Anyway, Max and Barry with you until 1:30. The footballer game is next.
We're due to talk about Spurs now. O'Hara was meant to be here, Jason Cundy, but apparently he's bottled his chance to plug your show. What? If you're not watching but listening, you've put on a Jamie O'Hara mask. Is that a new thing? I mean, that's quite horrific.
I don't know what it looks like. How does it look?
What do you think it looks like?
No, I can't see myself. Does it look like O'Hara?
Have a look at the monitor.
Every time I do that, I turn away.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it looks ghastly, and I never use that word. Yeah. Have you put it on before?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I've worn it before.
It's so vile.
Weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. So do you want to pretend he's here?
I can pretend he's here.
Okay.
Yeah. Shambles. Shambles.
Good team. Why is he not here? I heard he stormed out the studio again yesterday.
Last night, honestly.
Soon it's going to be more of a shot of his face.
I talk about Spurs.
Take the mask off, for God's sake. Yeah.
Honestly, when we talk...
Oh, put it back, put it back.
Put it on. I love getting into him about Spurs. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And he was saying if they buy Savinho and Mamouche, they're guaranteed top four, top two. And I'm like, come on, mate, come on. The Ange mask will come out, and it just grew legs and arms. The thing, and it exploded.
You got many more masks?
No, yeah, we've got Benty mask.
Have you?
No, we don't. No.
Don't wear him in a bank.
Do you know what happened though? Here's what happened with the Ange mask. We bought it last season when he took over at Forest, and we ordered it from I think South America by the time.
Please never begin a sentence with Barry's gripping, says Mike. Come on, Michael, we're better than that. It's Max and Barry with you on the warm-up with Travis Perkins. Go big on landscaping with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need at travisperkins.co.uk. After us, is it the Sunday session? Look, it's hard for me to keep up. Perry Groves joins us in the studio. What are we...
Sunday Game Day Live.
Sunday Game Day Live.
Previews
at 1:30 until 12:30 midnight.
Yes.
Great.
That's 12:30 midnight, Monday.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
previews and reviews of all of today's games. Obviously, 2 o'clock. We've got Toby Gillis at Brighton Villa. We've got Mickey Gray, the Manchester correspondent at Man City Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Sam and Crookie at Newcastle Liverpool. Obviously, it'll be a really emotional game there today with both sets of fans coming together. Obviously, the late, great Kevin Keegan. So if a player scores a worldie in the warm-up or the referee gets injured in their warm-up, we'll be bang on it.
Good.
It'll be take 10 seconds for us to get there.
You were drawn at home to Angelina Kelly in the brand new
from
Saturday
yesterday's draw.
Yesterday's draw for the brand new competition, How Short Are They? Which some people were suggesting is a similar competition to the one we previously did, but totally different skill set.
Do you think you're going to get a lot of players actually phoning in and going, how dare you, 5'5"? You having a laugh?
Well, interestingly,
we think they'll be offended.
Jeff Stelling wasn't in the draw, but he got in touch to complain, and we're discussing, because he's so short, does he get a bye for round 2? Barry, you're taking on... Who's your...
I got Mickey Gray.
That's a huge...
Sunderland derby.
Sunderland derby, and how short are they?
Yeah.
And he has a natural advantage over you because he's much shorter than you.
And he's from Sunderland.
And Sunderland.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but, you know, I don't want to riff on Mickey's pain, but I have seen him crumble under pressure before in a high-profile competitive situation.
Right. Which he gets reminded of on a daily basis.
Yeah. Now, I was beaten by a civilian, a listener in last year's kind of similar competition. How tall are they?
Mm-hmm.
That cannot happen again. Can I have assurances that there are no civilians in this year's?
At the moment, now the draw was made yesterday, although complaints from Natalie Saw and Jeff Stelling mean that they have to come into the draw. We may have to have a preliminary round. At the moment, there are no normal people.
Okay.
Because we know we are better and more important than the listeners and the callers.
And the humiliation of being beaten by
it's bad enough having to walk around them when we leave the studio.
For what, the autograph hunters?
Yeah.
Have you go out the back way like Chris Evans?
Of course.
You do, yeah.
Yeah,
Graham Norton, you've got your own lift.
Yes, the Evans exit.
Exactly.
Of course.
So in the 3rd and 4th place playoff, which I was
humbled
enough to be in,
the 9 legs.
Is it going to be the best of 45 legs? Is that what it's going to be?
I haven't got the entire rule book in front of me. Look, once again, the Saturday warm-up is just the rights holders. We don't actually make we're very much...
Are you selling off a chunk of the competition to American investors?
For massive profit. I am. Yeah. Hello, Reece. How are you?
Equity firm.
Yeah. Exactly. Reece is, for some reason, wearing a golden top hat today, and I don't know why.
Ermine robes.
Exactly. We're here for the footballer game, so come on, let's play, everybody. Who's on? Who is it?
John Dunn will be joining us as well.
Hey, John. Welcome. Where are you, John?
Good afternoon at the Etihad alongside magical Mickey Gray, who is listening in. I'm
hoping
he's going to coach me to victory.
How are you? Can Mickey talk? Is Mickey? Is he
the 6'1" Mickey Gray.
There we are.
I'll just say he didn't hear the bit before this, so he's totally oblivious to the news you've been sending his way.
Listen, it's 4'8" of absolute quality there at the Etihad. Look, Mickey, you've been drawn against Barry in the Saturday warm-up tournament. How short are they? Some accusations it's similar to How Tall Are the Way that we did for the 2.5 previous years, but it's an entirely different competition. Games to be played, week commencing Saturday, the 28th, 9th of August, but you could be playing in 2029.
I tell you what, there's some lads in there who are quite brave about their height, aren't they? I remember, I think I saw Perry at the weekend, or was it midweek? And he's the only person I know who can sit on a curb and swing his legs.
There we go. Oh, the chat started already.
Exactly. Look at the towering Mickey Gray.
Mickey, are you playing the footballer game, Mickey, or are you just leaving it to John?
Well, I'm just going to look at John and laugh, because every time I'm on doing one of these quizzes, I never speak.
John, are you good at this game? What's your record on this game? Have you played before, John?
Played one, got one correct.
That's pretty good.
Which I was quite happy with.
Who did you get? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
No, it doesn't matter.
Mickey Gray. There we go.
It's nothing to him. It means that he's playing. He's so carefree, John Dunn. Okay, here we go. Perry versus Barry versus me versus John. Take it away, Reece.
Our first footballer began his career at America Mineiro in 2015, staying for just the one season, scoring 9 goals in 24 games. He then moved to Fluminense for the 16-17
Raul Jimenez.
Nope, where he scored 17 in 54. He then came to England with Watford, where he stayed for just the one season, 2017-18.
Richarlison.
It is Richarlison.
Oh.
The fact he scored 17 in a season has blown my mind. Just do something yesterday.
17 shots.
Oh, my God. Hold it up, for goodness sake. What did you write down?
I got to Watford.
Okay, well, that's
That
not
weren't
bad.
bad.
You know, you're taking some notes.
looking at this.
Oh, right, just who I'm playing against.
Oh, I see. You've written the opponents?
Yes,
okay,
John
good
Dunn
stuff.
there.
Okay, right. Okay, so Max 1, John Dunn 0, Perry Groves 0, Barry Glendenning 0. Here we go with player 2.
Our second footballer began his career at Manchester United in 2006, staying until 2009.
Chris Eagle.
Nope, not scoring in any of his appearances for either of his United appearances. He was loaned out to Royal Antwerp for the 06-07
Ronnie Warwick.
The centre-half got sent home.
Scored, no.
Ronnie Warwick.
No.
Stanley Drinkwater.
No. Scored
Darren
20.
Gibson.
No. Scored 20 in 30.
Someone say Johnny Wallwork again.
Ronnie Warwick.
Ronnie Warwick.
Ronnie Wallwork. Ronnie Pickering. You know I am. Ronnie Pickering. Carry on.
He was loaned to Hull in 2007-08, where he scored 15 in 34, and then loaned to Spurs for 08-09.
Oh, Fraser Campbell.
It is Fraser Campbell.
She's had a good pre-season.
Yeah, listen.
You're free in your head and your mind, didn't you?
I see, right. Yeah. There was, first hour I wasn't ready. I wasn't in physical condition, but right now I've hit my straps. So it could be all right for Tottenham. It's happened to me. It could be all right. Max 2, Perry 0, Barry. Have you said anything yet?
I said Ronnie Warwick.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Of course, we all said Ronnie Warwick. Of course we did.
Anyone said Ronnie Warwick.
Who hasn't said Ronnie Warwick recently? John 0, Perry 0, Barry 0, Max 2. Here we go.
I reckon I've got to give Ronnie Warwick a couple of weeks off. If I come with Ronnie Warwick next week, it's going to be too obvious.
Absolutely right, yeah.
Our third footballer began his career at Feyenoord.
Ronnie Warwick.
No, in 2007.
Yeah.
Staying until 2011, scoring 23 and 111. He then moved from Feyenoord to PSV, where he stayed between...
Van der Vaart.
No, 2011 and 2015.
Van Nistelrooy.
Nope, scoring 40 and 109. Then moved to Newcastle for the 2015-16 season, scoring
Patrick
11
Kluivert?
and 38. No. Before moving to Liverpool, where he stayed between 2016 and 2021, scoring 16 and 179.
Wijnaldum.
It is Jorginho Wijnaldum.
That's a hat trick.
The hat
There's
trick.
a hat trick ball.
Can somebody clip that up for him? Just somebody. Just take 1 minute out of clipping up Rory Jennings being angry about something and put me on Instagram with that hat trick. Can you do that? Just for my own... No, I won't get big numbers. I know it won't, but just be nice.
Didn't the Catman get a hat trick?
He did.
He did, didn't he? On his debut, wasn't it? During the summer,
yeah.
Debut hat trick.
Yeah.
Catman, yeah. Adam Cattrall.
Wowzers.
Hat trick.
Oh, yeah, he did. I think I was there. Yeah.
Were you doing boxers?
Yeah, we were, yeah.
The boxer.
It's much harder.
Footballers turn boxers.
Yeah. Thanks, Reece.
No worries.
Hey, thanks, John. We're coming back
Thank
to
you.
you.
Just glad that I spoke. That,
I know, you did a very good job.
I'm still not sure
Ronnie
whether
Warwick.
Mickey Gray was playing or not.
He said exactly the same thing about me and you, Baz, to be
Another
fair.
great performance from Mickey. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you in about 15 minutes for team news. The Etihad there for Man City versus Bournemouth. We'll get team news from Brighton Villa as well. Really testing myself as well. Thank you, Perry. Have a lovely show.
Cheers. You
Nice
too.
to see you as well.
Cheerio.
Thank you, Reece.
No worries.
It's Max and Barry here on the warm-up brought to you the good people of Travis Perkins. Go big on landscaping with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need at travisperkins.co.uk. Ronnie Warwick.
You finished 9th.
Yep.
You come on talkSPORT and said that Chelsea are going to win the league.
Yep.
Who's the idiot?
We've got a manager that knows how to win a league.
No. Who's the idiot?
Won the Bundesliga.
I don't care. Who's the idiot?
What's the Spursy one? What's the Spursy ever won?
They finished 10th. Sorry.
10th.
Correction.
I know.
You finished 10th.
You'll take her place.
No, you finished 10th.
You'll take her place.
All right. And you come on talkSPORT and said that you're going to win the league.
You'll take her.
I don't think I'm an idiot in saying that Spurs can finish in the top 4 if we sign for Savinho and Mamush.
You'll take our place.
So,
Roberto De Spursy.
There's only one mug here, and it's you.
Roberto De Spursy, he'll take 10th, mate. That's a good season for you lot. Mate, you'll take that. Jay.
Don't
100%.
Don't Jay me. Don't Jay me. Right? Don't Jay me.
Jay, 100% you take 10th. I'm giving you 10th now. With 10 games to go, 10th. So you've not got to sweat like you did last season. Sweating over the last couple of games. Are we going to go down? Oh, no. We go, oh, no, I'll go down.
Mate, you finished 10th.
Yeah, I know we did.
You literally finished 10th.
Yeah, but we've got a manager that knows how to
win. That's almost like you spent £1 billion on a football team.
Yeah,
and finished 10th.
Another billion.
Right, who's more embarrassing?
And we're going to win it.
Who's more embarrassing?
Do you know what we should do? We should go for Savinho and Mamouche. Then we'll definitely win it. Put that in the Todd.
keep.
What do you mean? Don't start getting.
No.
talkSPORT is now available to watch live in more places than ever, including on Samsung TV Plus. Make sure you're tuning in to us there for our round-the-clock coverage of this new Premier League season getting underway. Samsung TV Plus for talkSPORT Plus for all the sports you know and love. Just watch. It is Max and Barry with you on the warm-up until 1:30. Is Ben Jacobs around? We need a minute with Ben to frame him for GBH. Anyway, in which case, in the intervening 1 second, we're going to do Newcastle in a bit, but it will actually that game and we'll talk about Kevin Keegan in a bit, but like it will be that will be a real moment. I don't know if you are old enough to remember watching him play Kevin Keegan.
Not really. Quite, no.
But I went back after he died and I just watched his highlights reels of this guy who was an unbelievable, amazing in the air, brilliant footballer, and just, I can't remember who we were talking to who was saying, it was at the time that Infantino stuff was coming out, and you just had this moment where there was someone who did everything right and is everything that is good about this game just summed up, and that was Kevin Keegan.
Yeah, Newcastle fans obviously adored him. Liverpool fans adored him. He was good for England as well, and it's sad. He was a real nice guy, and he was sort of wore his heart on his sleeve, obviously, the famous "I will love it." I'm not going to say, was it a rant or whatever it was, diatribe?
I think you can call it a rant.
And when he sort of acknowledged, I can't do this job anymore, when he was England boss and resigned at Wembley, I think it was. But I expect Newcastle and Liverpool fans to do him great justice this afternoon. Whatever tribute they have planned for him, I expect it'll be brilliant and very heartfelt and emotional.
Yeah, and completely deserved as well. And a total self-awareness, for all the things he achieved. Won the Ballon d'Or twice with Hamburg as well.
I didn't actually realise he'd won the Ballon d'Or twice.
It's amazing. And and yet afterwards he was like, I'll be remembered for I will love it.
Yeah.
A Sugar Puffs advert, because he just, and falling off a bicycle. Anyway, we'll do some more Newcastle in a bit. Let's talk to our senior football correspondent, Ben Jacobs. Window's still open. Hey, Ben.
Good afternoon.
Nice to chat, as always. What are Aston Villa going to do? They've sold everybody. Are they going to... and what can they do, I guess?
Yeah, they're going to be busy in terms of adding goals and also a defender. So replacing Ezri Konsa first and foremost. We know that Taylor Harwood-Bellis is one of their leading targets, and yet Southampton have got this really high valuation of £30 million or more. A bid for £18 million plus £2 million was rejected. And that's also led Villa concurrently to look at Joel Ordonez at Club Bruges, who will be a bit more cost effective. And in addition, Tosin from Chelsea, one possibility too. I think if they could get Harwood-Bellis, they would like to, but Ordonez is a concrete possibility as well. And those seem to be the leading two names in defence. And then as far as attack is concerned, yes, the links with Joshua Zirkzee have some substance to them, but the one that Villa would really want if Ollie Watkins goes to Al Hilal is Nico Jackson at Chelsea, and there's a £65 million asking price there. So Villa are going to be busy between now and the end of the window. And of course, we need to see whether Ollie Watkins is part of the matchday squad today, because Al Hilal are pushing and they're confident of getting that one over the line. But I don't expect Villa to sanction the sale unless they're confident of a replacement.
Yeah. Ben, we've heard during the news bulletins Enzo Maresca saying that Manchester City need to find the new Rodri. I can't help but notice that up until quite recently they had Rodri, but they seem to have let him go very easy. Is that just purely because he wanted to leave?
Yeah, they didn't want to stand in his way. They got an excellent package, by the way, €76.5 million, of which about 2/3 of the add-ons, 16.5 million in add-ons, 60 million fixed. And of those add-ons, about 2/3 are easily achieved. And when you consider the age and 1 year left on the contract and the fact that Manchester City want to add midfielders as well, they will feel that they can get that Rodri replacement, and yet they've left it relatively late in the window, and as a result now we're in for a box office finish, in my opinion. It was interesting that Enzo Maresca said we still need our Rodri, because some Manchester City sources feel that Elliot Anderson can play in that deeper, more disciplined position, and yet you've got Enzo Fernandez, who under Enzo Maresca at Chelsea was not a Rodri. He was an 8 that moved into the 10 position, but Enzo Fernandez at Benfica was an out-and-out 6. You've got Ayub Buadi, Adam Wharton, but Crystal Palace don't want to sell, Manu Kone as well, Alexis McAllister of Liverpool, they don't want to sell either. And when you look at all of those profiles, even though it's fair to say Manchester City want 2, not just 1, so it's not about only replacing Rodri, it's about bringing someone in because Tiani Reinders has gone to Al Qadsiya, Newcastle are interested in Nico Gonzalez. So of course, when you spell out those profiles, they're not identical and it looks a bit scattergun, and yet none of them are necessarily Rodri in terms of an instant 6 with proven Premier League experience. So it's going to be fascinating to see what Manchester City do, and if it's Buadi and Enzo Fernandez, they've got to be able to justify financially what will be a collective spend of over £200 million. So City are going to be busy between now and the end of the window.
Yeah, you mentioned Adam Wharton there, Ben. Palace lost yesterday, but I thought he was exceptional again. I really rate him. And there's talk that both Jean-Philippe Mateta and Ismail Assar want to leave. Can you envisage a scenario where all 3 of those have left Sellers Park by the end of the window?
I don't think Wharton will go. Palace seem relatively resolute and it would take crazy money, and the only way that's going to happen, in my opinion, is if there's a bidding war, and Manchester City may be keeping one eye on Chelsea, who have got Adam Wharton on their list, and Alex Scott as well, if Enzo Fernandez was to depart. But Palace have said, and Steve Parish is very honest and upfront in negotiations, they don't want to sell. And at the moment, I'm under the impression that Manchester City believe that position to be genuine. With Jean-Philippe Mateta, there's a crazy story that has currently run its course, where the player went to first the Premier League and then FIFA to challenge the final year of his contract, which expires in summer 2027, and did so from mid-season onwards last campaign to try and basically leave on a free this summer. And yet it was felt after his January move to Serie A fell through that maybe the player was more settled, he was scoring, he won a trophy, he's got European football. So there's still no guarantee Mateta leaves. But the fact this has now all come out, that he was trying to drive an exit and get out of his contract, may offer some encouragement to those in the market for a striker this late in the window. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that we get bids for Mateta. Wharton, I think, will stay, and Ismail Assar and Galatasaray is one to watch, although there has also been some Premier League interest in the player, and he has made it clear to Crystal Palace that he does want to leave. So it's going to be a really interesting end to the window to see if Palace can hang on to their stars.
Could you see Robertson, Senesi, Van Hecke, Tonali and Fernandes being shipped out by Spurs before the end before the end of the window? No, okay. What's happening with Savinho? What's happening with Marmoush?
Stay patient, Tottenham fans, because I think what they've done this summer could take some time to gel. And this just shows you, by the way, as I've said hundreds of times, you do not win transfer windows, you win football games. But there's still a lot of impetus and excitement about Tottenham. And the fact that Roberto De Zerbi hasn't come in at the same time as all of this recruitment, he had that little bit of time to keep Spurs up, that will be important in my opinion, because it's very hard for a new manager to come in with a whole lot of change and just get an instant return. But Spurs will come good, in my opinion. But what we saw yesterday is that they didn't score. And this is why between now and the end of the window, they'll want to try and bring in 3. Savinho's done, so he'll be available, £85 million. Marmoush is pretty much agreed in principle now. And yet I think from City's perspective, they'll just want to get through the weekend, make sure there's no significant injury, and then sign that off. But it wouldn't at all surprise me if we hear that that one is fully completed within the next 24 to 72 hours. Tottenham are confident of getting a double deal. And Cody Gakpo remains one to watch. Tottenham know that the player is open to the move. It's all just about whether Liverpool add 2 attackers. And if they sign Bradley Barcola +1, possibly Yankuba Minter, but there's other options as well, then it opens the door for Barcola to join Tottenham Hotspur. And then that would round off an entire revamp of the entire, not just squad, but I would say 2/3 of the starting 11.
Yeah, interesting. What's happening with Curtis Jones? You mentioned Liverpool and people coming in. What's happening with Curtis Jones? He's gone to Inter.
Yeah, he's gone. That one's already been announced. It was exactly the same as the Jed Spence deal in terms of valuation and structure. €30 million, €5 million in add-ons. Liverpool with a 10% sell-on clause as well. Player always wanted the move. Inter had spent a lot of the window going via intermediaries, and Liverpool's valuation wasn't met. They ideally wanted at the beginning of the window anyway at least €40 million. They got 35, but there's the sell-on clause as well. And in the end, a deal that suits all parties. Jones wanted Inter wanted Jones, and Liverpool happy with €35 million. And who knows, that might be the difference in terms of generating funds to reinvest as they look to spend big on Bradley Barcola, and hoping that playing this waiting game on Barcola drives the price down in the final few days of the window.
And do you envisage anyone else doing anything big? Manchester United, Arsenal perhaps?
Everyone, to be honest.
Right.
I think we're in for a absolutely manic end to the window. Arsenal still looking to strengthen on the left-hand side. They'll move for Julian Alvarez if they're given any encouragement. It's a big if, but the door is not 100% shut. And as long as there's a 1% chance, Andrea Berta is alert to that possibility. Outgoings at Arsenal are going to be important if a deal of that magnitude or another expensive player for an equivalent number becomes available. So ins and outs for Arsenal, loads of outgoings for Chelsea. If they sell Enzo Fernandez, a midfield incoming, Mykhailo Mudryk and Leeds United. Tottenham, as we've just discussed, and revamping their attack. Aston Villa are going to be looking very closely at both defence and a source of goals as well. And Leon Goretzka has already come in, agreement in principle there. That's going to be formalised in the coming hours as well. Manchester United alert to a left back and also a number 9. Manchester City, as we said before, with 2 midfielders and a winger. Keep an eye on Allen at Palmeiras because they're relatively close to a deal there, in and around the £35 million mark. Hull are still exploring signings after the fantastic win over Manchester United. Dario Asugo, the Chelsea midfielder, on a loan is one possibility, although he could go to Strasbourg as well. So virtually every single Premier League club seems alert to market opportunities, including most of the big 6. And that's why I would stay tuned to talkSPORT right until the window shuts, because I don't think we're in, as it tends to be sometimes, for an underwhelming deadline day. I think this deadline day is going to be box office.
Ben, Ian Wright made headlines yesterday saying when he said that he wasn't impressed with the manner in which Gabriel Martinelli seems to be being frozen out by Arsenal. What is going on there? And does he have any future at the club?
Well, he's got a future if they don't sign somebody in that position, but they clearly are sending a message that they're looking, and if they find, then Martinelli is somebody that they would be prepared to sanction. Galatasaray bid €45 million. The player didn't want to go there specifically. There's interest from Al Hilal as well. Al Nassr were the club that were chasing Martinelli in the past, and a year ago he didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, so he'd have to change his perspective there. But this is what clubs do. When you've got limited time, you pick a match day squad. Some clubs would argue it's not so much disrespecting the player as just protecting the player in case there's a sale and not risking the fact that they could get injured if they play. Other clubs have bomb squads and want to send a message to a player, in Martinelli's case, that would be happy to stay at Arsenal. So I somewhat agree with Ian Wright in the sense that Martinelli's not been told to his face you're surplus to requirements, but we know if they're to fund a Julian Alvarez or an equivalent player, Martinelli's the one that they can get a big enough fee for that it would make financial sense. And as a consequence, he's frozen out for now because Arsenal realise he might be a player that could leave between now and the end of the window. And that's disappointing from the player's perspective. And it's a tough one because if they don't sign someone, he's back in the fold and he's very valuable and he knows that. And if they do sign someone, he's quickly out of the picture. So he has to play a waiting game. And if Arsenal do sign somebody, maybe Martinelli changes his position about staying at Arsenal.
Remind me when the window slams shut, please, Ben.
September the 1st,
September the
11 p.m.
Got it. Okay. Thanks very much. Cheers, Ben. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks a lot.
Senior football correspondent Ben Jacobs there. Yeah, of course, talkSPORT will go big on the transfer window. And as he said, it'll be box office. It won't be like the 3 hours Andy Jacobs and I spent discussing Graham Dorran's loan move to Norwich. It's Max and Barry here on the warm-up, brought to you with Travis Perkins. Spend £100 or more with the Travis Perkins trade account. You can win a brand new Ford Ranger. T's and C's apply. We'll get team news from Brighton Villa and Man City Bournemouth in just a second.
So this summer has gone from bad to worse for Villa. Unai Emery, Morgan Rogers and Yuri Tielemans already gone, of course. And now it looks like Konza, that's the big one, is on his way to the Arsenal. Let's bring in another Gabby, who must be delighted. Gabby the Gunner, who has called us in 03717 22 3344. Gabby, a very good morning.
Dry your eyes, Gab. I know it's hard to take, but Constance made his mind up. There's plenty more fish in the sea. Dry your eyes, Gab. I know you want to make Constance see how much his pain hurts, but you've got to walk away now. It's over. Sorry, Gab. And Alan, welcome back, sir.
Thanks,
I'm
mate.
so pleased you've got a fit bill of health.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you.
No, I'm good, Gabby. Thank you very much, mate. I was missing this, so I'm back.
Missing you.
He's not
The
missed
nation
you,
was
mate.
Missing you, Alan.
He ain't missed you, Gabby.
Oh, he always misses me. It's you he doesn't miss, Gab.
Well,
Come on,
can I
brother.
ask you a
Don't
question,
Gab in
though?
Essex.
You
Go
know,
on, mate.
spending what you spent again this summer, is the minimum Champions League and Premier League for Arsenal?
Oh, Gav, listen, you've got always he'd make a great politician, wouldn't he, Alan? He really would make a great politician.
Are you closer to winning the Champions League with these signings?
I still think we're short of one exceptional striker. I think Osimhen, Alvarez, that's kind of the missing link. It could be enough with Solis and with the guys we've got.
Half-time and the Hawthorns 1 apiece between West Brom and Burnley. You can hear that on talkSPORT 2. It's Max and Barry here on the one. Well, let's go to the Etihad. John Dunn, Mickey Gray there for talkSPORT. And John, how's the team news for Manchester City versus Bournemouth?
Well, they are making, in Enzo Maresca's first Premier League game as Manchester City head coach, 2 changes from the 11 that lost to Arsenal in last week's Community Shield. Mark Guéhi and Rico Lewis are the 2 that come in. They replace Mateo Kovacic and the injured Jeremy Doku, a Premier League debut for City for Elliot Anderson. Donnarumma in goal, Kuzanov, Diaz, Gay and Vardiol is a back four. Lewis alongside Anderson we expect in midfield. Semenyo, Foden and O'Reilly supporting Haaland. Now, there is word that Mark Guéhi might start in midfield. Now, I'll have to keep an eye on that, but there is a rumour around the press box of that. The other big change, if you're not already aware, Erling Haaland has chopped off his long flowing blonde locks and he will sport a crew cut for the new season. Bournemouth, under the guidance of new boss Marco Rose, hand debuts today to summer signing Antonio Silva, a defender from Benfica. Their other 2 signings of the summer, Sanchez from Sevilla, defender, starts on the bench, as does striker Alvaro Rodriguez. He is joined from Elche. The Cherries unbeaten in their last 18 Premier League games. Petrovic in goal. Smith, Silva, Hill and Truffert is the defence. Scott alongside Cook in midfield. Ryan, Kluivert and Tavernier will support Evan Nielsen up front for Bournemouth. Etihad Stadium, 2 o'clock kick-off for Manchester City and Bournemouth.
Is Mickey with you, John? I should know this.
I'm here, mate.
Mickey, it's such a fascinating game. You know, the way City... I mean, they were so bad against Arsenal. You know, you sort of instantly change your expectations for a season, which is perhaps naive. And as you listen, you hear that Bournemouth side, of course Iraola's gone, and it is different, and a new manager makes such a big difference. But that is a settled side, pretty much, isn't it?
Well, as John just mentioned there, 18 unbeaten at the end of last season and only 1 real change defensively for them, Max. So, yeah, I think they'll come here. I mean, they haven't got a great record here, let's be completely honest with you, but I think from what we saw from City last season, and we heard from a few managers actually yesterday saying that their players or their teams weren't fit enough. Well, Man City, let's hope they've done a lot of hard work in that week, because I went to Enzo Maresca's press conference on Friday, and you know when you get that feeling, Max, and I don't know if the guys in the studio will do as well, when you speak to somebody and they're telling you something but you're not convinced in what they're saying. I got that feeling with Maresca, and it was a little alarming. And I still think it's square pegs round holes. I mean, even that conversation that we've had, and this is a big rumour that Mark Guéhi might actually be starting in midfield, Enrico Lewis and Kusanov playing as centre-half and right-back. I mean, we're yet to find that out. Obviously, we'll find that out when the game kicks off. But if that is going to be the case, I think he's kind of twiddling his fingers and still looking for his best 11.
Mickey, Enzo Maresca obviously taken over from Pep, big boots to fill. What are the expectations of him from Manchester City fans, do you know?
I thought you were going to ask me about Maresca, what his plans are there.
Barry, you can answer either question.
Yeah,
Mickey.
I will do. So, I mean, look, obviously live in Manchester, but I was, again, and I'll talk about being in Maresca's press conference on Friday, and he said there is no expectations from, the powers that be, the owners of the football club, but he said when you're in a club like Man City, you don't get time before you start winning football games. And I think we've seen Arsenal on Friday. We know how good they are. We know how strong their squad is. And the problem is, and I've had this conversation with about 3 or 4 people down in the press room today, the Premier League season's not a 37-game season, as Man United found out yesterday. It's a 38-game season. You cannot be caught out in the first 2 or 3 games of the season when Arsenal are that good. They could just literally run away with this Premier League because of how strong the squad is. I mean, they don't even have to play at 100% to win football matches, and I think that's the worry that's Man City have got this season. And speaking to my friends who live in the area, I think they've been happy, obviously, with what they've seen over the last decade. And I think there's a little bit of complacency there, as if they don't go and win the league and they don't win trophies this season. I think there's an acceptance there, which I'm not quite sure is a positive thing for City and certainly Enzo Maresca.
It's going to be so fascinating, isn't it? It is so hard to say. And like you see, yesterday, with all the optimism, and in a way, maybe, losing that Community Shield like that for City tempers your expectations, right? But you see how Manchester United fans would have gone into that game yesterday, and how Tottenham fans would have gone into the game against Brentford yesterday, and waking up today going, oh, yeah. actually, this is, and like United and Tottenham fans have been there before. City fans obviously haven't been there for so long. So it just must be odd to be a match-going fan and not have your expectations slightly changed.
And this is why we talk about pre-season games, Max, and the importance of them. Look, the result at times, and I get it, obviously played the game for 20 years, the result's not the main goal in pre-season. It's about getting yourself up to 100% fit and ready for when the Premier League starts. But now you look at Man United's next game against Ipswich, it now becomes a must-win. And it's only the second game into the season. You look at Tottenham's next game in the Premier League, at home to Newcastle. We know what their home form was like last season.
Chance. Absolutely no chance.
But this is how ironic is it? When you see two sides who've went out, and certainly in Tottenham's case, who spent a lot of money. I know they're not finished, but all these managers still seem to be talking about the next 9 days of the transfer window. You need to get a settled squad as quick as you possibly can. We're here at the Etihad today. Man City's squad is far from finished. Players going to be leaving and players walking through the door. And then it's going to take another 2.5 months for those players to bed in and settle into the way that you want to play football. So I think this is where Arsenal have no doubt got the upper hand in the Premier League. And these other sides who are playing catch-up better get themselves going pretty quick.
But how can Hull and Brentford be so much physically fitter than Manchester United and Tottenham?
Well, there's no excuse for it, Max. There really isn't. I know there's certain players at the top clubs have been away on World Cup duty and they get a little bit more time off, but you would think that, they've been playing games in the World Cup, so they haven't lost that much fitness. And it's not like back in my day when you get 4 or 5 players coming 3.5 stone overweight walking through the door. They're ready to go. I mean, they basically need plugging in, these players now. I mean, they're like robots, aren't they? They're ready to go. So you only need a little bit of a top-up in pre-season. So that really surprised me yesterday. I think it's a bit of a cop-out from coaches when they do turn around and say, my players are not fit enough. Just turn around and say, we weren't good enough. I think that's what you've got to say.
Good stuff. Well, enjoy the game, chaps. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, mate.
John Dunn and Mickey Gray there. The Brighton Villa team news is out. Our reporter's on his way there. Toby Gillis will be there for talkSPORT. No Emi Martinez, but Marco Bizzo starts in goal. For Villa. Suzuki's on the bench. Ollie Watkins left out of the squad.
Okay.
But hard for me to work out because I've got the team in front of me, but I haven't got it in the positions that they're going to play. So I'm trying to work out who is going to play up front for Aston Villa, and I absolutely can't because they've got Buendia. Well, Buendia's he's not a 9, is he? But is he in a false 9 then, I guess? Because it's Bartley, McGinn in midfield with Kamara.
Well, according to the graphic I've just magicked up, it's Hemmings.
Eddie Hemmings. Off spinner.
George Hemmings.
George Hemmings up top.
Number 53.
Okay, lovely.
A 19-year-old, I'm going to say I've never heard of George Hemmings.
I've heard of him because I think I've made the Eddie Hemmings joke before.
Or maybe Chappers made it, and now you're making
That's possibly true. But who wouldn't love a portly middle-aged off-spinner leading the line for Aston Villa in the absence of Ollie Watkins?
According to this, Hemmings up front, Buendia on the left, McGinn right, and João Gomez.
João Gomez.
Go to goal.
To Villa. It's a good time to find out, isn't it? For Wolves, yeah. Well, presumably before now, I would say, in the summer sometime.
Well, this has been a real education. By the way, I've done some more in-show research.
Oh, right, here we go. Yeah.
Do you remember you mentioned, when we had Ben Jacobs on, that you said this transfer deadline day won't be like the transfer deadline day when you and Andy Jacobs spent 3 hours on Graham Dorran's loan move to
Norwich. Has he not gone there?
Do you know when that was?
No, I'm going to say maybe 2013. No, 2016.
February 2015.
2015.
And he went on loan to Norwich. and then only for a month, but the loan move was extended to the end of the season, and he helped Norwich win promotion.
Many congratulations.
So you were right to spend 3 hours talking about it.
Many congratulations, belatedly, to Graham Dorrans. And we'll do some Newcastle in just a second.
And 2 weeks today, the transfer window closes. Would you anticipate much more business in terms of incomings between now and then?
Well, you can see the league, how unpredictable the league is, and the amount of things that can happen on a day. So it's better not to talk too much. Be prepared, be open, and hopefully we can wrap up the transfer window in a really positive way.
You were speaking before the Community Shield. You were asked about your long-term future and contract negotiations, and you said there's nothing to worry about, Arsenal fans. Do you see yourself as somebody who can do what the likes of Guardiola and Wenger and Ferguson did and stay at the club for many years and build a dynasty?
I want to do what I'm capable of doing and what is the best for the club. And I feel very, very happy and grateful to be sitting where I am with the people that I work with every single day. And my ambition is to continue this way.
Was it strange at Cardiff on Sunday that you weren't facing Pep Guardiola in the dugout, given that rivalry that's developed and obviously your relationship with him?
It was different. Obviously, I know Enzo really well, but obviously the relationship that I built with Pep when we work with each other, and then the amount of headaches and sweats that he has provided to me over the last 6-7 years to try to catch up to the level and the standards that they set in the league has been an absolute inspiration. I think he's left a benchmark and a mark in this league that it will be history forever, and he made us, I think, all of us better.
Have you had many conversations with him since the end of the...
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend, even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. They'd been introduced not for leg protection, but instead to give batters a strategic advantage. The idea was that batters could put their leg pads in front of the wicket if they missed the ball, preventing them from being bowled out. Obviously, that all changed when the LBW rule came in, but that was the theory behind them. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Apparently, he'd broken his leg in a match against Sheffield United in 1874 and wanted to stop it from happening again. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads, sewed them into his socks and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. Ta-da! Shin pads. Like all great genius inventors, everyone took the mickey at first. To be fair, he probably looked quite stupid running around with these on. But it's thought his whole Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this protection was pretty important for footballers. Multiple studies have shown wearing shin pads clearly reduces the risk of players getting lower leg injuries. And so in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became a part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says pads must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, and players can get away with a lot. A lot of grassroots clubs are choosing to ban micro shin pads for obvious reasons though, especially after a 15-year-old player from Penistone Church broke his leg while wearing them. Still no change from IFAB though. That's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
to me, he's one of the greatest ever Liverpool players.
He has given English football some of its finest moments with Liverpool, with Newcastle.
Kevin Keegan scores and his career on Tyneside turns full circle.
For the city of Newcastle, for the people, they've waited a long, long time, and they're the best, there's no doubt about that.
You feel empty because he was such a fantastic, fantastic guy.
The biggest superstar in our dressing room, and we had some top players in that era, was our manager.
And he gave them a brilliant football team that played some great football.
And he lifted us out of the doldrums.
With Philippe Albert.
Turned your TV on to watch Newcastle. They were that good.
His whole career was characterised by that honesty and passion.
I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
So privileged to have had an incredible footballer, a great human being, and a wonderful manager.
Yeah, some player and some guy as well, and obviously when Kevin Keegan died, so many amazing tributes, and it will be the same today at St James's Park, Newcastle versus Liverpool, two sides for whom he was absolutely brilliant. Jack Cunningham from Inside the Toon joins us. Hey, Jack.
I'm good. Afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon. And you're younger than us, but for us, don't really remember seeing him as a player. But that Albert lob, and just that team, and it's funny when we constantly talk about teams have to win trophies. You'll be forgotten if you never win trophies. And you think about Newcastle won the League Cup recently, and maybe it's just because of our age and when the entertainers were. But you just think that team with Albert and Asprilla and Ferdinand and Shearer will be remembered for longer than the team that won a Carabao Cup last year.
Yeah, they're the nearly men, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are the defining team, one of the defining teams of the early Premier League era. You think about. It was Ferguson v Keegan, and then obviously Wenger comes in as well. But it was Newcastle who were the first ones to really challenge Manchester United, and almost certainly should have won the league actually when they were 13 points clear. But at the end of the day, that's as you are right, Max. That team's going to be remembered for the football they played and the attitude they had. And I think with Keegan, whenever I speak to maybe all the Newcastle fans as well, it's always just they give them the belief in the football club again. It was like, no, you can believe, you can think that we're going to achieve things, you can dream. And look, he got Shearer back to St James's Park, which was for £15 million, which at the time was an outrageous transfer fee. And I think if you do inflation, it works out something like 300 million or something now. That shows you what he could do and how charismatic he was. And I remember even with the Shearer interview, he sat there next to him and he's saying, he knew how to deal with the fans as well, because he's saying, you got him here. It's not me. I said, well, no, it definitely was you, Kevin. You definitely got him to join Newcastle. And yeah, I mean, look, today is going to be such an emotional day, I think, with that. Liverpool, I've seen Liverpool in their end are going to have a Keegan tribute as well. It's a game that is a big anyway. Newcastle-Liverpool's big anyway, but there's a lot of things going on in this match, including Keegan. We've got Isak back at St James's Park as well for the first time. And of course, there's two new gaffers as well.
It's interesting with those players, and I talk about this a lot. My dad constantly will talk about Jimmy Greaves, and it's a guy I never saw play football. Of course, I saw him on TV loads and he was a funny guy, but just those players that older Newcastle fans or your mum or your dad or your grandparents will just talk to you about, and it's a one-way conversation, right? You just go, oh yeah, he was good, wasn't it? But that will be what Newcastle and Liverpool fans and Hamburgers will say about Keegan.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to look where you achieved as a player, and I think when it comes to Newcastle, it comes when Newcastle are in the second division, struggling to stay up, and he keeps them up, and then he gets promoted to the first division as well, and then he left in a helicopter. It was some pretty unbelievable scenes. He became a hero. He wasn't there for that long as a player, but he immediately got what the people of Tyneside want, and he got what Newcastle fans want from their team. He appreciated just how much football means to that region and how much it means to those people. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's one of the biggest legends in the history of the club. And there needs to be a permanent way to commemorate his legacy at St James's Park.
To the game itself, and you say there's, so much change at Newcastle. It's weird. A lot of Newcastle fans I've spoken to are kind of kind of excited about something new, given the fact, okay, maybe it was Eddie Howe's time, but to lose so many players as well, and yet still have maybe it's just the blind optimism that we all have. I don't know how you're feeling about this season.
Yeah, it's fair, but I think one thing you got to remember is Tonali and Gordon were not good last season.
No.
They were not good last season.
They weren't good this season. Well, tonight...
I'll chase for the 100 million, mate. We'll take that in the bank and run.
Could I possibly add, I think Eddie Howe, while he did a fine job at Newcastle, I think maybe he had run out of ideas as well.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, like, he had aged like 10 years in the last sort of 6 months. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, you know, one thing with Eddie Howe I always associate with him is, like, he had that fire at all times, and I just felt it gone. Like, the spark had gone. It was actually not the second defeat to Sunderland. It was the game after that. We went to Crystal Palace 3 weeks later, and at the end of the game, he stood there clapping in front of the fans, and he just looked absolutely finished. And to be honest, it's more the timing of Eddie Howe leaving rather than anything else. I think is the right decision for him to go. And what you say about the optimism, yeah, there is that optimism and that belief because it had gone stale and it did need something new. Equally, if the squad remains as it is right now, I'm a little bit concerned because there's quite a few areas that are short. But if they do back Eisler properly in the remainder of the transfer window, get 3 more players in, I think we can actually have a good season, to be honest, because I really like him and I really like the way that he is speaking and I like the football that he plays. And I think today we're going to see a good performance.
Is there a fear that the owners aren't as bothered as we thought they would be?
Well, you are right in saying that, but then last week we've just announced a new £190 million training ground, which is their funding entirely.
Okay.
I don't think owners who are not interested in the football club are going to then do that. And I think it's the third most expensive training ground in the world, and it's going to be right next to the airport. It's 260 acres.
So they can all live in
massive.
All these fancy dams.
Yeah, it's massive.
Right.
And then also on Saturday we announced a new training ground kit sponsor. There's talks to rename St James's Park, get a new sponsor in for St James's Park as well. These are not the signs of owners who've given up. These are signs of they've binned off other sporting elements. Of course they have. Mm-hmm. I think they're actually now almost doubly focused on Newcastle to make it a success. But you are right, there was definitely question marks over that. But then that's changed. Equally, the remainder of the transfer window, they do need to back him. They do need some more players in because then that'll...
And can they with PSR?
Well, yeah.
Tend to just zone out as soon as someone...
No, I know what you mean. But I think at the moment, PSR is not a concern for Newcastle whatsoever. You've got to consider the Isak sale from last summer. Then we've sold Gordon, we've sold Tonali, we've sold Bruno. There's plenty of money there.
Right. And what do you need?
Well, what do we need? Well, I think a new number 6. We've been heavily linked with Nico Gonzalez. It looks like he's not going to have much of a future at Manchester City. He's on the bench today over Rico Lewis. Right, fair enough. I think if we can get Gonzalez in, that'd be amazing. And then it's clear that Eisler plays with a mobile number 10. So we need someone who can do that role because, fortunately, I'm not sure Walter Marder is mobile enough to play that role.
Oh, I love Walter Marder. I mean, he sort of started really fun and then fizzled, right?
Yeah, it's a real shame at the moment. I'm a bit worried about him considering he's a player I said build the team around. I'm a bit worried about him.
Players have bad, it takes time for some players. We talk about Liverpool, right? They've got all those players from last season. Kerkez, who's now under Iraola again, Frimpong, Wirtz, Isak. They could all be really good this season, right? It's possible. Players aren't just, joke about Tonali. Tonali could be an amazing Tottenham player, right? I think we all do this, is we watch a football match and decide that's how good that player is. And then you judge every performance from the first time you saw them. And it's just not how football works.
No, it's not. You're right. But it's more, this pre-season has been really, really poor. And I know pre-season's not the be-all and end-all. Of course it's not. But I needed to see something different from him because I blamed a lot of his issues last season on Howe. I didn't think Howe was using him properly. I didn't think he got the best out of him. So now, but if you can't work under another manager, and again, it's very early days, but if you can't work under another manager, that's on you, I'm concerned.
The new manager is Geisel. He's an unknown quantity for most of us over here. He may well be a brilliant appointment. He may be terrible. We don't know. If he doesn't get off to a decent start, would you be concerned Newcastle could be in a relegation fight?
I mean, it's possible, but I've got to be honest, I don't
enthusiastically.
think... Yeah, exactly, yeah. The Sunderland fan.
I will say, in my pre-season predictions, I did tip them for the drop. I don't actually think they will go down, but I think they could be in end up in a battle if it doesn't work out.
Well, I understand, because look, we've signed a lot of young players. There's not a lot of experience there, so you always feel like if the momentum goes against young players, it's always quite hard for them to maybe pull themselves out of it. One thing I don't think is going to happen, though, is the fans are going to turn at all. I think we all appreciate that Eisler has not been given the time that he needed. If you were going to bring him in, should have been at the end of the season. I think he'll get the backing of the fans through everything, especially if the board don't now deliver in this remainder of the transfer window. For me, I'm not even judging Eisler if they don't sign the players, because he's just been left with a squad that is not at the level, and that is partly on Eddie Howe, by the way, for not moving some of these players on and just keeping them because they've been good for him in the past, just keeping them loyalty. And it's fair enough, but last season their levels just dropped off a cliff, and it's clear that they're not going to be able to get them back, so you need fresh blood, you need something new.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, we spent so long talking about transfers and players coming in, and then all these footballers who just, like, no one's mentioned Keane and Drewsbury Hall or Keane Lewis Potter or whatever, like all these players.
Yeah.
Who could step up, or who is, there's a big season for like Lewis Miley and other Newcastle players who do you think will actually be better this year or be key for you?
Yeah, Miley would be huge for Newcastle. I mean, I absolutely think he's a brilliant footballer. I think that when he first broke through, it was all about the technical ability, but now he's really bulked up and he can get up and down the pitch. And Eisler has specifically spoken about him numerous times. It's clear that he's going to be a key player for us. Lewis Hall, a left-back, one of the best left-backs in the Premier League. Don't know how he didn't go to the World Cup, but he didn't. I think Hall will be huge for Newcastle. And then Elanga needs to improve. Elanga and Visser need to improve. They
can't really get any worse.
For 110 million pounds, they need to be a lot better. Definitely, yeah. That's the thing. But a new manager can do that, can't they? They can get best out. If you look at Joe Linton before, under Steve Bruce, one of the worst strikers the Premier League had ever seen, ever. And then Eddie Howe turns him into this monster of a midfielder for certainly 3 years. He was top drawer in midfield.
Thank you, Jack.
No worries, pleasure.
Jack Cunningham from Inside the Toon. Shawnee says, I like Voltemada, but I also like Edam, and Edam is not going to get us 20 goals a season. It's a very good point. And Andy Jacobs has been in touch to say Graham Dorrance and I still very good friends, says Andy. It's Max and Barry. Until 1:30, Justin Morehouse joins us for guest attendance in just a second.
Thanks, Jack. Spurs fans will be on salty crook. You're still bitter from the Europa League final. I just think they've overspent Tottenham. I think they've gone a bit mad in the market.
Talking of which, hello, Kate.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Kate. Oh, we've missed you, Kate. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Good to speak to you, Sam.
Nice to speak to you.
What about me and Crookie, Kate?
Oh, Gabby, it's not fair. Nothing's fair. It's not fair.
That's a good accent, that is.
I have never heard in all my years of being a Tottenham fan such salty, crying, pathetic whining from Villa fans as I have at this moment. Your owners, Gabby, have got the opportunity to do what Tottenham have done. Why not build a big stadium? You've got, I think, as far as I know, you've got a piece of kind of parkland near Villa Park.
I like the heritage that Villa Park has got, to be honest.
Well, you can't have your
well,
cake
then
and
you're
eat
never
it.
going to be a big club. You can't have it all, Gabby.
I think Villa are a bigger club than Spurs. Come on, let's not get silly now.
I'm just laughing at you. You're so funny. We finished 17th and we made 187 million more revenue overall than you in 24-25.
That's because Beyonce loves to come to the Spurs Stadium for gigs.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how you make the money. It's about making the money.
I love Beyonce to come to Villa Park.
Aston Villa, by the way, did a load of concerts to try and raise revenue themselves. They did that, actually, over the course of the last couple of years, which is great for them.
I agree.
But they do need to invest in the infrastructure around Villa Park, which is going to take time. Do you have to just understand that that is going to be the case?
Good afternoon. You are listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1:30. 12 minutes. Just time for Guess the Attendance. And today, top journalist Barry Glendenning takes on top comedian Justin Morehouse. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Yes, good. Where do we find you?
You found me in Edinburgh.
And how is the festival?
It seems to be all right. I arrived moments ago.
Okay.
It seems to be all right. It seems to be going well.
Are you one of those big-time comedians, Justin, who just swans in, does 3 or 4 set-out shows in front of 10,000 people and then swans back out again, while all the rest of them are scrabbling around, handing out flyers and living in a ditch for 35 days?
No.
Thank you.
No further questions?
Yeah, no.
Okay. You may stand down from the bench. Can we ask you one question on your Manchester United's defeat at Hull, or would you also like to say no to that?
No, sure. Go ahead. You know me, I'm fair-minded.
Yeah. Have you changed your entire expectations for a whole season?
No, I was disappointed. It was a bit weak, wasn't it? I think it's that whole thing as well. Is like it was obvious that Hull, playing the first game at home in the Premier League when they were expected to come back and everyone had written them off, were just going to be at it. And it was like everybody knew that except the Manchester United back four.
And why? I mean, also, just be at it anyway, right? Why? Like it's the same with Spurs. Don't just be like, well, they'll probably want to win, so we should probably try a bit. Why not just be at it?
I think the United thing is, the team in transition, as they always keep saying. They always say it's only when the team's not winning. But I also think that there may be 1 or 2 players light, and you can always see that when 1 or 2 players don't play well. So you used to make, there was 2 or 3 performances were under par in the first half. And then by the time you're 2-0 down, you're struggling, aren't you? I was surprised that Rushden didn't play from the beginning.
Do you want to play Guess the Attendance?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Brand new season, 0-0. Not that we keep score through a season, but...
I was going to say, what was last season's score?
Can if you want.
Do we have the score? Do we have a... It should just be first to 5,000 from when we... Ruth, could you listen back to the last... How many years, Justin, do you reckon?
7, 8.
The last 7 or 8 years, could you get somebody to listen back and tot up the score?
The guy that used to do it, but he seems to have gone now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's given up on us. Yeah.
Hull City 2, Manchester United 0. 22nd of August 2026, yesterday. Darren England of Sheffield refereed the game, but how many were there at the MKM Stadium? Justin?
18,900.
18,900. Barry?
18,901.
24,470.
Oh, was it that much?
1-0.
I was going to showboat there, and I
imagine what
I bottled it. I was going to showboat and say 25,000, but I bottled it.
Okay. Fair enough. So
you should have done. I'd have felt better about losing.
A moral victory in ways for Justin.
Yeah.
Okay, we go to the Den now, everybody. Yesterday, Sam Allison of Wiltshire. Sam Allison, the referee who said hello ball as he picked up the ball. One game. Millwall 3, Norwich City 0. Hello ball. Millwall 3, Norwich 0. Start the season well, Millwall, haven't they? But how many were there at the new Den, Barry?
I will say...
Right outside Barry's window, this, by the way.
It's true. It's true.
Well, 16,200.
16,200. Justin, what do you think?
16,199.
Oh, 19,564.
Oh, my word.
Barry 2-0 up. What's happening, Justin?
See, Justin, he's like Manchester United. He's not at it.
You're not in physical condition. You're like Sandro Tonali.
I can see what he's doing now. He's doing the mauling thing like a tiger.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Mauling in the air.
Oh, I'm not.
I'd like it if you were.
I can.
I knew one of my friends. She had a
tiger.
An evening with a gentleman. Well, she was dating a man who did "I'm a Tiger" rah at one point.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
During their special fun time.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my!
That's
that would put me right off.
It was Steve Coogan.
It wasn't. You imagine that? Imagine the brain processes of that exact moment to think this is the time to pull out the "I'm a tiger."
He wasn't like trying to be funny.
I don't think so. I don't think it was a moment to be funny. I'm not sure. Anyway, to the Copperjacks Community Stadium. Bromley 1, Cambridge United 1. We absolutely battered them, and they equalised late on, but still unbeaten in the opening 2 games. You cannot complain about that. Neil Harris's Amber Army. Kirsty Dowell of Kent refereed this game. But, and you need it, Justin, how many were there at the Copperjacks to see Bromley 1, Cambridge 1?
Oh, my word.
How is the referee from Kent allowed ref a Bromley game?
And absolutely right, and we should be given the points.
That too, of course. You know.
I think you're looking over the fact that she was a woman.
Conversation there just before anyone yells at us. Great idea, etc., etc.
I don't think I need to apologise to you who understand irony. And I tell you something, it's women who should be doing the ironing.
Oh God, yeah. All right, come on.
Double irony. I'm going to say 4,000.
4,000.
Standard. Don't know what. Lower league.
I was at 3,999.
4,938. 2-1. He had the chance to win that early. We go to Salford. Salford, 2 defeats in a row for the favourites to win League 2. The AIG Stadium, Salford 0, Chesterfield 1. Bonis scored.
This is basically Justin's back garden.
This is his back garden. Bonis's second-minute goal. Bonnie Bonis scored. The ref was Scott Oldham. Can somebody called Oldham be refereeing Salford? It's an absolute disgrace. He is from Polton Le Field, wherever that is, or Le Fylde. Fylde, thank you. How many were there at Salford to watch this one, Barry?
5,000.
4,999.
3,210. It's 2 apiece. It's an absolute classic. Here we go.
I was going to showboat.
You say again?
I was going to showboat then.
You could have done, but
can't showboat when you're 2-1 down.
2-2. Well, it's an amazing time to show. Imagine if he had. We'd have talked about it.
Nannied it. Kept it like nanny in the corner.
Wayne says, I kept a spreadsheet of guess the attendance results for 7 years. Problem is I deleted it in anger last week when that ridiculous new game. Joe Woolmer refereed. Dagenham and Redbridge 2, Torquay United 0. Apologies, Charlie. But how many were there at the Chigwell Construction Stadium? Good win for KSI. 2 goals for Radari. Joe Woolmer, the referee of Northampton. But how many were there to watch Dagenham 2, Torquay 0? This for the win. Justin.
What league is that in?
That is in
National League South.
Yes,
We've
National
gone
League
that
South.
far down.
It is the National League South. We cover every single part of the pyramid on this show. We're not snobs.
National League South.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say thousands. And I've gone too high there, Barry. I've handed you that on the plate. I've gone far too high.
What did you guess?
1,000, but he's just going to walk away.
He's playing
999, Barry.
I think it might be higher. I'm
Yeah,
going to say
I think
1,001.
You say 1,001?
Yeah.
The correct answer. 1,897. A big win for Barry. Thank you, Justin.
Oh, I'm gutted.
You'll be all right. Don't worry.
Absolutely gutted.
There's always another game. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Travis Perkins. Sam Matchface, Perry Groves are next.
Yeah, all right, boys, how you doing?
Yeah, very good. Good to have you on. What do you want to say?
I just want to say this stinky Arsenal chat from you boys this morning is nothing short of comical.
Go on.
Gabby said that Arsenal should be winning the league with our spending. Well, both of you. You know, recruitment's a big part of it. Look at the likes of City. Well, not City, but the likes of Chelsea, United. They've spent loads of money. It's not a given that you're going to win the league. I think we've proven, the culture Arteta's built alongside getting the right recruitment, bringing Berta in. It's impressive.
Yeah.
So you don't think the money that you spent, you should be winning the Premier League?
I don't think it's got anything to do with the money. I think it's got to do with the quality. I think the quality of your squad is so good that you should be winning the league.
It's cost a lot of money.
Definitely.
I agree. And that says more about the recruitment than just pure spending. Obviously, pure spending comes into it, but it doesn't mean that it's a given that we're going to win the league. Or I think we will win the league, but it isn't just as simple as saying we should be winning it. Arteta's not that good of a manager because of the spending.
Who said that?
Disagree with that. Well, that's what the sort of the signs I was getting from Gabby before. It was sort of like